Dave.
Hello.
Jay.
Hello.
You sound.
It was off. Hi, how's that? Am I better?
Yes.
The
You lied,
Flash
but
was
that is
denied
you,
a
that
bank
was-
loan. Isn't that Max?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or no, the Human Torch was denied a bank loan. Yes.
I'm in Max. You are listening to Happy Jack's RPG Podcast. I'm in Max. Pursuing the RPG hobby with reckless abandon.
Hey guys. I apologize. I went to our frame rather than the interstitial instead. So
Well,
no one has seen. I'm going to show
guess
everyone.
what?
I'm going to show everyone the game title. I apologize to everyone listening at home. Here's our lovely game title. Everything's a little out of order.
super awesome looking.
So it was muscle memory. I apologize. Here we go. We're in frame. Hey!
Hi. Hi.
It's a new game,
A new
and I'm
frontier.
totally ready for it, for sure. You can believe me, I promise. I'm excited about this game because it's the first game in a long time that I actually have a really story idea that I've gotten all penned out ahead of time.
Cool.
And now I just have to come up with the stuff on how it connects to the characters that we're going to make tonight. So, my name is Kadave, this is Happy Jack's RPG, and we are starting to play the Star Trek Adventures from Modiphius.
Yay.
It's a fun time. And the inspired title, thanks to a whole bunch of people brainstorming with me on Slack, was Second Star, as in to the right, and straight on till morning. Yeah. So, let me go around the table. I know we're kind of a little sparse in here tonight, but we're missing a couple of people that couldn't make it for character creation, but we'll be here once we actually get to the game. But we wanted to get this part started because it's a lot of fun. So, to my left.
Hey everyone, I'm Nick, and I'm looking forward to playing in Star Trek.
Hi, I am Adam, and I will try not to bore you with my endless knowledge of Star Trek.
You mean fascinate us?
Fascinate us.
Yes.
Unlimited knowledge?
Yes.
This is great.
If you want to see me active in the forums, this is the show to get it on. Like, Tappy is to Monster Hearts forum as Adam will be to the Star Trek forum. Like, I can talk some Star Trek.
Hi, I'm Jay, and I'm just glad to be a part of this team.
Yay!
Yeah.
Jay's first campaign on Happy
Yeah,
Jack.
that's right. My first full
Yes.
campaign. I guested once, and now I'm excited. I'm just excited.
Yes.
That's how it works. You guessed once, and then they suck you in.
Oh,
and
you're
suddenly
in.
you're part of the family.
That's it.
Yeah.
You can't get out.
Just when you thought you were out.
I wasn't even out.
Yeah.
I was never in.
Just when you happened to walk by on the street.
They pull you in. Do you want to make a little?
Oh, yeah. So,
Yeah.
in theme with all the other games, I try and do something that's sort of in line thematically. So we did. What did we do for?
Insert coin. You did.
You brought hot chocolate.
Oh, I did hot chocolate. Yeah, at the beginning,
Because
it was
they
actually
were all
cold.
kids.
It was
Yeah,
kids,
yeah.
and we were
It was
cold.
lukewarm chocolate.
Yeah, it had Bailey's in it because we aren't actually all kids. But tonight, in theme for Star Trek, a created concoction simulating the ale of Romulus.
Yes.
And it's actually not as bad as I was worried about.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Because there were some horrendous recipes
Oh, I'm
online.
sure.
Yeah.
They were just gross.
But this is like Sprite and blue curacao and vodka.
vodka,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. It's actually pretty good.
Yep, that's pretty good.
It's
And-
way better than that nasty, like basically blue Zima that they sell. That's
Ooh.
actually
official,
called
yeah.
official.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No.
so bad.
This should definitely be banned at Starfleet events.
The first recipe I found was like grapefruit juice and just things, and I was like, that, what? You don't want
no.
cloudy Romulan ale?
No.
No, what are you doing?
Romulan ale is supposed to be blue and strong.
Very
Yeah.
strong.
Does not need to be disgusting.
No, not
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah,
It's clean.
yeah. People want
Yeah.
to drink it.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it doesn't- yeah. The other thing I want to show off for this game is the fact that when we were talking on Slack, Adam brought up wanting to play this game, and I went, my time is now. I've been looking at this game online for months, and I really want to get this one because it comes in a freaking huge board cube. And it's super amazing because on the backside, I throw some stuff on the ground. I'm so excited. I hope it wasn't anything important. But it has drawers for mini
They
storage.
can't see that. You'd have to. Okay.
And it's got another drawer for random detritus storage.
Nice.
It's got enough space that if you buy hard copies of all the books they're going to release for this game, they'll all fit in here. Mm-hmm. But it came with packs of Romulan minis.
Ooh.
And the Next Generation crew minis.
Oh.
And the original series crew minis. And a bunch of Angry Klingon minis.
Are there any other kind?
And then, in a genius marketing move, this company has come out with colored dice for each department in Starfleet. So, depending on your era, red, yellow, and blue. Blue is always science and medical.
Red and yellow
Consistent
switch.
ones. The others decided, you know what? Yeah.
If
people
anybody
buy too
would
much.
like, on the forums, we can discuss the reason for the changes and why it
Ooh.
changed from original series to Next Generation.
Wait, there was a reason?
There was a reason, and yes, I know these things.
Okay.
Because-
I don't want to spoil the conversation, but I do
Yes.
have to ask one quick question.
Yeah.
Is it an in-universe reason, or was it a costuming reason, which I know you may also...
It was a costuming reason decided by the producers, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it primarily has to do with changing moods about different colors over the intervening time between the 60s and the 80s. Yeah. So
That's a good point.
this is just a tip of the delicious trivia iceberg you
Oh.
can get from talking about Star Trek with me.
So excited.
That right there is-
happyjack/proboard/forum?
Well,
or something like that?
happyjack.org/forum will take you there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't actually
hop
have to
on,
go right
hop
to
on
the-
board, everyone.
Yep.
To that link.
I will answer any and all Star Trek trivia because I am ridiculous.
By the way, and people, I don't like if you're not following that group or the Facebook. Not everyone does the Facebook though. Adam did a fantastic job of explaining Star Trek via the Harry Potter houses.
Yes.
Which was amazing. So, if you haven't looked at that or you're part of our group, look it up.
I
It was really
don't
great.
know that
It was
it's
really
on the
great.
Happy Jacks group, but I'll post it on
You
the forum or
should.
something.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It was really
So,
good.
Yeah, basically, Joey, who's the perfect boyfriend, by the way, he bought me a badge. But Joey has never gotten into Star Trek because he's like, I wasn't raised with it, and there was so much, like, need a guide. And I'm like, I will guide you. But I'm like, let me summarize all the different series in ways you can understand. So, so like the original series, I'm like, a Slytherin, Ravenclaw and a grumpy Hufflepuff try to convince a Gryffindor to do the right, thing. The Gryffindor is always right anyway.
Yep.
So,
Pretty right on. Pretty spot on.
yeah. But yeah, I did all of the series, and then somebody dared me to do the Orville, which I also did.
Oh.
Yeah, so which was a bunch of Slytherins try to act like Hufflepuffs, hilarity ensues. But, yeah. I'll post them all. I totally forgot to post
It's
them.
right on. It's right on.
But
I can dig it. So, the first thing we're going to do, because this game, in its wisdom, gives you a couple different ways to make characters, and includes a way that I hold very dear to my heart because it's very similar to another science fiction game that I love called Traveller, in that there is a whole sort of random generation that lets you kind of build a backstory for your character as we do this. So then you come up with some things, and you have some cool events in your life before we start the game that gives me ammunition to tell a good story. Like, instead of just, my family's all dead.
But wait, my family can be dead, though, right?
Yeah.
That's, just making sure that's still an option.
Find out why they're dead in here and what you want to do about it. That's what.
All right, good to know.
Yeah. So the very first thing we need to do is everybody needs to, on their little sheet, you all start with 7 attribute points in the top set of 6, and 1 in each of the disciplines.
I'm just going to show off. It does have a character sheet, which you may be able to see is the printed out in the, I forget what that font is called. I'm sure I'll be corrected at some point. Perhaps someone in chat will tell me. It's just a well put together little system here.
interesting bit of trivia. The one thing I don't know about Star Trek is what that standard Star Trek font is called.
Oh, there you go.
Don't know.
Ooh. Probably just Star Trek at this point.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've read things and I know it's got a specific name, but I forget. You know.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't need to save that information.
Right? Yeah.
There's a medical center near my house that uses the movie Star Trek font
Oh, really?
on the side, for the name of the medical center. And the first time I drove by, I was like, "What is that?" Oh, well, that's not nearly as exciting as I thought it was.
Oh,
I was
I
like,
want to go to there.
I was like, if I get sick, I know where I'm going.
that's true. They probably have tricorders.
Damn
Yeah.
Spanish Inquisition.
Got the hypo
That's my favorite bit, for sure.
Oh my!
What did you say she's got? Cramps. Oh my god, I'm so in my happy place right now. Oh, so good. Okay, so we got 7 points for attributes to distribute.
No,
however
7 in each.
Oh,
7 in each.
each.
So we
Okay.
start off at
Yeah.
7 in each of the attributes.
And those will go up as we do this character creation thing. That's
Okay.
why
Right.
I'm happy to provide pencils.
And in the disciplines,
They
too?
all start at 1.
One.
They all start at 1.
Okay.
We at least have a familiarity in all of the disciplines.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Now, I'm just going to take a moment and correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I recall from reading the character creation, this sounds like it's a lot, but it's based off a D20 system and rolling underneath your value. So right now we're at about a third of the time we're going to be successful on these values.
That's right.
So
Good point.
Okay.
think of it in those terms.
Because basically every skill check comes down to you take an attribute, and then you take a discipline, and you add those numbers together.
Uh-huh.
So in this case, you'd get an 8.
Right.
So you have to roll under 8 or lower on a D20 to count as a success.
Oh, wow.
Gotcha.
And every time you roll, you start with 2 D20, but you can buy more with other mechanics and stuff.
Okay.
But
Got it.
So it's still the higher the number, the better off we are.
the better
at that
you are
thing.
at that
Exactly.
thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
It's kind of like THACO, though. You're rolling under.
Under
Yeah,
it.
I
That's,
was like,
yeah.
oh, it's like a weird throwback.
I know, right? Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Systems.
D20 GURPS.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring it up so that, like, if you have an idea of something that you think you're really good at, this is how the system works. So you don't think, like, 13's great. I'm going to be fantastic.
Right.
Oh, no,
No.
like 60%. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's not good.
Yeah. Okay.
So the other things to remember about those numbers is you can't go higher than 12 on an attribute, and you can't go higher than 5 on a discipline.
Got it.
If something comes up while we're doing this and you would go over that amount, you just have to reassign the extra somewhere else.
Okay.
Okay,
You don't
cool.
lose
You don't
the
lose
point.
those points.
You just
Got it.
grab
So
it
max
somewhere.
12 and max 5.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Next thing, everybody gets to pick a species.
Woo!
All right. So anybody who's talked to me for more than like 5 minutes is going to be actually. I actually made a comment this afternoon that anybody who's talked to me for more than like 2 conversations, that I'm not surprising to. Like it's pretty clear. I'm a Trekkie. I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm a Hufflepuff, and LA Story is my favorite movie of all time. Like,
Legit.
yeah, everybody knows these things about me. I'm pretty predictable. But anybody who is actually really knows me is going to find this very surprising. I am not going to play a Bajoran.
What?
I know. It's true. It's a little weird.
Red alert!
Part of it is because my piercing has grown over and I can't get my Bajoran earring in anymore. But no, actually, the real reason is we were talking about roles beforehand, and just for various reasons, I kind of started getting the idea of playing a command character, and as much as I love my Bajorans, like, if I'm going to be in a command position, I want to rep my people, and so I'm going to play a Choctaw character. So
nice.
so
That's awesome.
first Choctaw in Starfleet in canon, because we're canon.
Totally canon.
yeah.
100% canon.
Yeah. But anyway,
We're gonna rocket this whole stream right off the Paramount and right on it.
Yeah, you're going to be right on it. But
Contracts
anyway,
to be arriving.
Hollywood?
right?
Have I got a story for you?
So, but anyway, yes, I am playing a human.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. So, because you've chosen a human, the first thing you get to do is
That is what we were doing next, right?
yeah.
Okay, I'm half drunk off Romeo and Nail, so I wasn't really
understand.
paying attention. Okay.
At the,
Also,
end,
I'm very
at the end of the
excited.
night, we're all just going to be sitting on the transporter pad.
Great.
Row your boat gently down the stream.
By the way, I have the recipe to make Dr. McCoy's baked beans.
Nice. Awesome.
So, the first thing you get to do is you choose any 3 attributes you want, and you add +1 to each of them.
Okay. All right.
So that's a special human thing that you get to pick. A lot of the other races, they tell you which ones you have to add.
okay. So
Sort of like in
fitness
Team of D&D, where
Yeah.
like humans get to have that extra stat
versatility.
point. Yeah.
Right.
Humanist. All
So I
these things are
understand
so
fitness. Presence, I'm guessing, is sort of charisma-like, your
Absolutely.
ability to like be cool with people.
Oh yeah, I suppose we could go through those.
Reason is your like logistic and logic intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Insight, it's like a wisdom. It's a wisdom?
Sort of. It's also your ability to read people
Okay.
and like socially figure something out.
Oh, okay.
So
All right. Yeah.
anytime you're involved in like a negotiation with someone, you use
Yeah.
insight to see what their point of view is. or-
Okay.
And I think it's also used in like a like it's used in all aspects, but it
Okay.
can be used in like a scientific method,
Yeah.
like this is a problem with the protease
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
cellular cases, and like,
Okay, yeah.
you have an insight
Got
into the
it.
problem.
So as opposed to reason, which is your ability to like put the puzzle pieces together, insight is your ability to guess what the picture is going to be.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good guess.
Ooh, that's a nice way of putting that.
Yeah. Okay.
Daring is all about action.
Okay.
That one's pretty simple. Control is both. Daring is like gross motor skills,
Okay.
and control is fine motor skills.
Got it.
Okay.
So doing microsurgery would be a control thing. Swinging from a vine like Indiana Jones with a whip would be daring.
Gotcha. Okay.
As one does in Star Trek.
Right. Yeah.
Regularly.
And
Probably going to be better with vines.
Also, good point. Fair point.
Okay.
Fair point.
And a lot of time travel episodes. Let's be honest.
Also true.
so a Kirk chop ab revealing shirt slash is that daring
That's more
or is
daring.
that fitness?
That's more daring.
That's
More
daring.
daring. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Daring, as I recall it described in the book, is being able to do something without like a lot of planning and foresight.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's daring do
Sure,
as well as being,
okay.
yeah.
So like instinct.
That's nice.
Kind of stuff. Okay. All
And
right.
control also reflects things like emotional control.
Yeah.
Which I know might be
Yes.
That might be of
from
use
what
for
you said,
later.
yes.
Okay. So
And
I'm-
also control would also be resistance against mental attack
Gotcha.
by
Okay.
various aliens that might have telepathic powers.
Got
Okay.
it.
So I'm adding my +1s to daring, fitness, and insight.
All right. Perfect. Anybody else have a species all picked out?
I do. I think you're a little more complicated, so I'll just
Go
quick and
get in
this
there.
So I'm going to be playing a Trill, and we haven't gotten to this point yet, but I'm a Trill that does not have a symbiote. And the attributes that I get a bonus to are Control, Presence, and Reason. And that's it.
Interesting. Those are the 3 that I didn't pick.
A well-rounded group form.
See? Look at this.
Yes.
Complementary skill sets overlapping.
You all meet in the
it.
bar.
You look trustworthy, Starfleet Ensign.
All right. As was mentioned, I will be complicated because I like being
I dig it.
complicated, and because I am a person with feet in many worlds, so I often choose to play hybrids. And I'm going to try something I do not think I've seen before, which is a Vulcan-Klingon hybrid.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
And so
I
let's.
do not recall such a thing existing.
I don't even know if they can mate. I don't know. Who knows?
I'm sure
They can now,
Yeah.
because we're canon.
Yeah.
This is it. There you
Basically
go.
a writer's room.
You're welcome, Paramount.
Right?
You got
Yeah.
This is all happening.
But I will say that would be some violently hot sex.
it. That would be, but only once every 7 years.
right. Yeah.
But let me tell you,
yeah. But you make a Klingon save it up for 7 years.
7 years.
Like, that's gonna hurt.
oh boy.
I have a question.
Sure.
And you may not know the answer yet, and that's fine. Klingon mother, Vulcan father, or Klingon father, Vulcan mother?
I believe, and this may change as we go, but I was approaching it Klingon father, Vulcan mother.
Okay. All right.
So,
Interesting. Yeah.
to do a hybrid race,
Yeah.
the first thing you have to do is choose which race is sort of the primary.
Vulcan.
Okay. So then you need to use the Vulcan sheet
Okay.
for your attribute bonuses.
All right. So control goes up 1, and fitness and reason both go up 1.
Nice. I love Vulcans.
Vulcans are the best,
Right? Yeah.
but so repressed.
Yeah. True. And I have to say, like,
Oh, maybe I'll play a Vulcan hedonist.
yeah. Tuvok became one of my favorite characters. In
Oh,
Voyager.
yeah.
He just developed so fully and became so interesting, and after like a lifetime of Spock, you're like, nobody else can be a Vulcan, but and especially like a full Vulcan.
Yeah.
But Tuvok just became such a rich, complicated character. I just
So
loved
interesting.
it. Tim Russ
So
is
lonely.
amazing. Oh, right? Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So now, now you get a trait. So you can pick a trait from the listed traits on there.
Got it.
I think they're at the bottom of the page, if I remember correctly.
So the traits are
Those
Kolnar,
these-
Mind Meld, and Nerve Pinch.
Those aren't the talents.
No, those are
Those are
Oh,
the
no,
talents.
Those are the talents. Yeah.
So attributes,
Yes.
trait,
Oh, sorry, yeah,
Vulcan.
right in the middle.
So the Vulcan's the only one. They're extremely strong. Let's just read the thing. Due to the harsh, arid, high gravity world they come from, Vulcans are naturally resistant to extreme heat and dehydration. They are also extremely strong, with keen auditory and olfactory senses. They're also telepathic, though this takes training to properly manifest, and they learn mental discipline and emotional control from childhood. However, this control takes regular meditation to maintain, and their controlled nature and desire for privacy can distance them from others and make interactions awkward.
So I'll go ahead and read my trait as well in just a moment. But as I recall, the way traits work they are kind of like defining characteristics of who your character is.
Oh, okay.
And so
okay.
this trait is based off of of your species. Everyone gets that trait who's that species.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you might take a trait that reflects, like, I'm devoted to duty over everything else.
Got it.
or it's
Yeah.
all about science and exploration or
You
something
can
like
absolutely find, like, as we go through this, you might end up with other traits.
Okay.
Like, a trait might be, like, when I ran through this as a test with some friends, I ended up with Betazoid that had helped by accident a negotiation with the Ferengi.
Oh.
And so he got the trait Friend of the Ferengi.
Oh, okay.
So,
nice.
if he comes into a situation where he has to interact with the Ferengi, they'll go, "Oh, you made that guy a lot of money. Maybe you can help me too." So,
that's
he gets
cool.
Bonuses.
So those
based
get
on,
get added as we go along.
So
That's
you
cool.
get extra. Just
So it's
extra
not
trait.
necessarily a mechanical effect. It's just kind of a story point.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there is some mechanics to it.
Uh-huh.
Like, in this case, like, you're strong, you come
Yeah.
from a high
Right,
gravity
yeah.
world,
Exactly.
all that stuff. So, in the situation where, if I put a condition in a situation where it's high gravity, maybe as a human, you're having a hard time.
Yeah.
But
Because it's tough to breathe, it's tough to
Right.
breathe.
You're like,
going on.
whatever. I'm sitting on fire. It's just like
They're like, let me rip my shirt open.
there will definitely be lots of shirt ripping.
Oh yeah.
So much shirt ripping.
Please.
But you also get all of the trait for being a Klingon.
Ah.
So, Klingon gets... Klingons are physiologically hardy, with many redundant internal organs, allowing them to withstand harm and a number of poisons, which would be deadly for any other species. They are significantly stronger and more resilient than humans, though they have less tolerance for the cold.
Okay.
Which kind of makes sense. 'Cause
Yeah.
Vulcans don't like
That's
the cold
true.
too
No,
much.
it's
yeah,
true. Arid planets.
Yeah.
Desert planets.
You are going to be one hardy
Yeah.
officer.
Good thing we're not going to go to that cold planet.
know,
Really
right?
don't
Yeah.
go to the cold planet.
Yeah.
Please.
It's a good thing we never have a budget for snow.
No.
That gets rocks every day. Every day.
Right. Every day.
What is that, the 39-mile line or whatever?
It's like it's still inside.
Yes.
Still
Yeah.
You don't
Just
get extra
inside.
pay. Fuck you.
Just inside the studio zone.
So the Trill racial trait is Trill are especially resistant to parasites as a quirk of their potential to be joined. Joined Trill are entirely immune to parasitic infection. However, they tend to have strong allergic reactions to insect bites and other forms of venom, which can disrupt their neurochemistry, particularly if they're joined. As many of the specifics of Trill physiology, especially with regards to symbiosis, are not widely known, this can result in medical complications.
Ooh.
So, hardy to parasitic infection, weak to envenomed assault.
Got it.
Nice.
All right.
Nice. Next.
Very big human.
Oh, yeah, no,
Very-
I'm sorry. We
Sorry,
didn't
no,
do
that's
that.
all right. Humans are adaptable and resilient, and their resolve and ambition often allow them to resist great hardship and triumph despite great adversity. However, humans can also be reckless and stubborn, irrational and unpredictable. Yes.
Yep. Those are all facts.
Yeah.
All right.
tracks.
So now you get to pick a talent. Now, there are some talents on that sheet, but there are other talents available to choose from. So you can pick one of your racial talents that doesn't necessarily...
Oh, sure. Thank you.
You will get opportunity to gain other talents later also.
All right.
But there is sort of a listing of some generic ones and then some sort of departmentally focused ones
Cool.
that you can
Cool.
look at. Here, Nick.
Can you tell me, is stress basically like hit points?
Basically, yeah.
Essentially? Okay, all right.
Got it.
Because one of the humans' talents is resolute. You are indomitable and unwilling to succumb to adversity. You increase your maximum stress by 3.
So yeah,
Yeah.
you're just more likely to keep getting back up when the Vulcan Klingon beats the crap out of you.
Right? I kind of like that. Yeah.
You're not going to win the fight, but you will
Right,
keep
yeah.
coming back.
So there's more.
Oh.
If you wanted to.
Oh, good.
Stay down.
Oh, yes.
So I notice that a lot of these talents are listed, you said, as by like track,
Yes.
by like Starfleet track. Are you permitted to take something outside of the track that you think that you're going to be in?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
All right.
Because it could sort of be like, hey, I was in engineering and then realized I'm a hell of a scientist and
Yeah.
switched over.
Much
but you
like
still have
Captain
that-
Janeway, she was very engineering-y, science-focused.
Right.
As a commanding officer, she still had a lot of that. Especially at the beginning.
How many of these do we get to pick?
Just one for
just
right now.
one for now.
And there is no special talent for being a Klingon.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Not till you buy the brand new book that's just been released.
Right.
Special talents for Klingons. All right, I think I know mine.
Yeah.
And I know some of the talents talk about mechanics that might not be super clear yet.
Yeah.
If you have
Right.
any other questions, feel free.
But they will.
Yeah.
All will become clear.
Sure.
Right.
And I'm also very much of the position that we make characters, if you make a choice and we start to play and you're like, this was stupid.
I put 1 point in every skill. I'm awful.
Like, I'm happily
Yeah,
let you
I've made
shift
that
stuff
decision.
around. Like, that's okay. As long as you haven't made it, like, the big focal point of your character.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, I'm that guy that can always fix the engine. I want to get rid of all the talents about fixing the engine. Like, yeah, no.
Oh, that's kind of fun. Dauntless. Whenever you attempt a task to resist being intimidated or threatened, you may add a bonus d20 to your dice pool.
Ooh.
Nice.
That's pretty strong.
I'm going to take, because of conversations we had, I'm going to take constantly watching. When you attempt a task to detect danger or hidden enemies, reduce the difficulty by 1.
Nice.
You're one step away from the
Ooh, tough is pretty
danger
good, too.
ganglia.
Yeah.
Danger ganglia.
And that's, yeah.
Threat ganglia,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah,
I'm waiting until
That's right.
the Discovery handbook comes out.
I'm like, what kind
Yeah.
of species evolves like that?
I'm scared.
Yeah.
Well, no, that makes sense, but ones that could detect things that you might not even be aware of
Oh.
being a threat, that's
Right,
weird.
yeah,
Like, that's
yeah.
just a weird evolutionary step.
Oh, actually, I'm going to hold that off because I am going to take first, I think, the former initiate because that sounded interesting for the character
All right.
Oh, okay.
on here, which is a trill-only talent. It may only be taken during character creation. You join the initiate program hoping to become chosen by the Symbiosis Commission to become joined. As there are far more initiates than there are symbiotes, you were one of the many who failed, but the quality of even a failed initiate is enough for Starfleet to recruit you. When you attempt a task using control or reason and spend determination to buy a bonus d20 for that task, you may re-roll your dice pool. Former initiate cannot be taken if the character has joined talent. They're mutually exclusive, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure what all that means, but it sounds cool, so here we
Right? Yeah.
You got it.
Determination is sort of a currency that you can build up based on your core values as a character.
Okay. Yep. A little more power.
I'm going to go with, since I'm going to be in engineering, I'm going to go with I Know My Ship, which is engineering +4. Whenever you attempt a task to determine the source of a technical problem with your ship, add 1 bonus d20.
Nice.
Nice.
Yes. More power.
Yeah.
I will let you guys know I will 100% be employing the Scotty method of being in engineering.
Yeah.
I hope
Which
so.
is, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that.
Yeah,
There's
right.
no way at all. It's going to take hours.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I did it. Look at this.
Minimum.
Look at
Right?
this. I fixed it, you guys.
How else could I maintain my reputation
Exactly.
as a miracle worker?
No, but how long is it really going to take?
Yeah.
Rakana changed the laws of physics.
Right? Yeah.
4 hours.
No,
tell him that.
you did not tell him that.
I did love that. Is one of my favorite episodes.
Oh yeah, it is
did not
definitely
tell
one of
him
the
that.
best Next Gen episodes. No bloody A, no bloody P, no bloody C, D, or E.
That's actually one of the things that really got on my nerves about Discovery
Oh,
is like it's super advanced techno future,
Right?
And
Yeah.
then I'm like, how are you going to convince me that you go from that to big chunky beep boop?
Yeah,
Beep, boop, beep.
Here's the thing. I agree with that, and it did sit wrong with me initially when it came through. But I feel like it exists in this weird continuity of, like, the prequels, as awful as
Right.
you may think of the name of Star Wars, were far more advanced for their ships.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you get to, like, the big 70s chunky buttons.
Yes.
And you just have to kind of go, like,
It's a thing.
stories
Yeah.
are told in different times.
I
so you just gotta roll with
I,
that.
Yeah.
I can
But-
give that away, but like that was my first impression when I
Yeah.
when
And
I'm
the-
like,
yeah, we're like,
suddenly there's
what the hell is with all
body
these
holograms?
Right? Yeah, right? Yeah.
They do not have that in the original series.
No, they did not.
Don't even talk about it.
Yeah. Because I had to make my peace with the costume evolution
Yeah.
as well. Like,
Yeah.
because I'm like, how do you go from this to the
Primary
original
colors.
series in the in 10 years? I'm like just fashion evolution that does not work. And but I kind of just decided when they announced Discovery, like, okay, they say it's in the original continuity. I'm just going to have to accept there is an aesthetic shift.
Yes.
And and I'm just going to pretend that it works and it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's fiction, so it's
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Well, in fairness, though, the costuming in the Star Trek universe has been wildly, like, if you look
Yeah.
at most military or scientific institutions,
Yeah.
they don't change their costuming, they don't change their
Wildly.
uniforms
Right.
every 10 years.
Right,
Yeah.
It's not like,
exactly. Yeah.
now we all wear red and have big poofy collars.
No.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
What happened to the poofy collars?
I don't know. But the
Those are
Rathacon
nice.
uniforms are far and away the superior uniforms in all of Star Trek history. Yeah.
No, I disagree.
Followed very closely by the First Contact uniforms, I will say.
I like the first Contact DS9 era with
Yeah.
the fun little jacket
Yeah.
over the thing. Like
Yeah.
that's nice.
No,
The
they're
sporty captain.
really
That's
good.
pretty. Yeah, they're super sporty.
Yeah.
And I will say you will probably see me wearing one of those
Nice.
very shortly.
I have one too.
I dig it.
I honestly expected
cannot-
you to be in your sweatshirt.
I almost did. Yeah, I have the Rathacon uniform hoodie that I
Yeah,
just
I
got
dig
in the
that. That
mail.
was awesome.
Yeah, it was really
That's
cool.
really cool.
But I also have a First Contact uniform. I have I have an original series uniform in science and operations. And I have a Bajoran Vedic robe that I made myself.
Wow.
Yeah. What else do I have? Actually, I think that's it right now. Yeah. Oh no, I have a Voyager uniform as well.
All right.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm ridiculous. Okay. All right. So we got talents done.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
picked Dauntless as the.
I picked Dauntless. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Rock on.
I am very resistant to intimidation.
Next up, I need the book back.
Yeah,
Oh.
sorry about that.
No, it's all good.
Pop that over for you.
What I love is that I have read this book cover to cover, but that was like a year ago. And then I'm like, nobody will ever play this with me. And so I put it
You
away.
have to just
And
say
look at
something.
this.
Right, I know, right? Yeah.
And look at what has happened.
I know, right? Yeah. That was before Happy Jacks. I read this before Happy Jacks happened to me. And so much has changed since then.
And I get it, and
Yeah.
the whole reason behind why I even have this is because I was like, look, someone else wants to play Star Trek.
Right. Yeah.
This is my
Clearly.
chance. I have to make this happen
Right?
now.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
made the game. Like, clearly somebody else wants to play it. I
Right.
just didn't know.
Again, I apologize to any home listeners, but just to let Dave know, we already have a couple of watchers who have contributed NPCs.
Yes.
We'd like to see.
Oh.
Just to give you a
I
heads
was
up,
aware
we've
that there
already
were
got a
some
couple
that were
are
already
coming in.
saving up beers to.
Awesome.
Nice.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Lower decks are one of my favorite things about Star Trek stories,
Yeah.
so I will happily incorporate NPCs anytime you need.
And as I recall, there's actually kind of a cool mechanic in this game where even though we're all sort of making like first run PCs who we probably normally play, but there's a mechanic for creating like guest stars or second run like supporting characters,
Yeah.
so that when there's a scene going on and you're not there, you can play your supporting character who might be there.
Oh, that's
and so
cool.
like not necessarily as fleshed out, but if they keep showing back up, maybe they come all the way up.
That is
Yeah, it's a
cool.
really neat idea. Yeah, and it also helps fill in the gaps of like the people around. Like if it was just us playing and we had an engineer and 2 people that were thinking about command track stuff, then it'd be like, oh look, one of you has broken your leg. I'm sorry, but you have to die.
Right?
You don't have a medical officer.
Yep.
You got nothing. Like, oops, you got a hangnail, gangrene got
That's it.
Right?
Like, you died of dysentery.
I just get like this crotchety captain who's like, yeah, welcome to medical bay, and it's just like a shotgun. Broken leg, like that's it. That's all we do. You gonna be okay? Nope.
Nope, that's it.
We are not the best ship in the fleet.
Space them. Airlock them, no matter what. Welcome to medical bay.
Was that a
That's like
sneak?
the airlock. It's the medical bay. Just go inside.
I promise it's fine. Just go. Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Sounds like a goddamn Spanish Inquisition.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. But yeah, so it has the mechanic that you can create additional crew members
All right,
that
cool.
are then just sort of in a communal pool, and if you need to do an away mission with a medical officer,
Yeah.
then one of you guys could go, oh, well, it
All right.
doesn't make sense for me to be leaving the ship right now, so I'll play that guy.
Cool.
Nice.
Very cool.
That kind of a thing. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
All right, so we've completed step 1.
Hey!
Step 2. We need to choose the character's environment. This is the type of the world the character was raised on. Environment adds an additional value and then an additional attribute and discipline.
Okay.
So, here's how we can choose. You can either pick, if you have some idea for the idea where you grew up as a person, great. You can pick from this list. Cool. Or you can just roll a d6.
Roll a D.
I'm going to roll a d6.
Me too.
I'm going to try that.
Do you want me to read you
Yeah.
the choices first?
No. Oh, see.
Oh, no.
Oh, I mean, you can.
Go ahead and then I'll listen.
If you want to roll first and then just
I just
commit
wanna
to whatever
roll.
you get, then you just roll the
Let's do
die.
it,
and
Jake.
I'll
Let's
put
do
it
it.
in.
Let's do it. Random
Roll
nuts. Oh, I have a 4.
So I have a 4.
Whoa, Frontier Colony.
Frontier
You're
Colony.
both frontier colonists.
I like it. That's perfect.
Okay, what else?
The
what
other
else do we
choices:
got?
home world of the species, busy colony, an isolated colony, a frontier colony, a starship or a starbase, or another species world.
Okay. I think we had talked about, like, I was going to try and do more of a choice, especially since you guys are repping the random
Okay.
hard, which I
Yeah,
love.
cool.
Yeah.
So I think I will, having paged them earlier, I think busy colony is probably going to be my
All right.
my choice.
All
I don't
right.
remember what it does, but it sounds good.
So, busy colony, the examples they give are like Luna or Mars in Star Trek. So they're big,
Right.
high population planets.
Right. Have been a colony,
Been a colony for a
time.
long time. Yeah, it's self-sufficient. It's not dependent on importing goods from the home world or anything like that. Generally, like advanced stages of terraforming, that kind of stuff have already happened.
Okay.
So it's a nice place to live. So you get to come up with your own value. Now, the way values work are they're sort of a core bit of your being as a person. And you can kind of come up with anything that sort of equates itself to the idea of being raised on a busy colony or a frontier world.
Yeah.
Some examples. Let me find what I did with those two.
So, Frontier Colony says the character comes from a colony located on the fringes of known space, either on the edge of uncharted space or on the border with another civilization. Frontier colonists tend to be hardy and determined, even stubborn, and well prepared for the dangers that their home may pose. I like it.
I like it. I like it. I like it a lot.
So, some examples of some values. These are the ones that other friends of mine came up with when we made characters. That are your night shift crew
Yeah.
on the ship. One of them is we can make it work. So it was raised on an isolated colony, and they didn't necessarily always have the right things to fix stuff. So yeah, we gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
what we need to do. Another one, it can be understood. So come across some unusual thing that nobody's ever seen before, but it has to have a rational explanation.
All right.
So, and the way these values work is you can trigger them in game to get an automatic critical success D20.
Oh, wow.
okay.
All right.
So if you come up with a way to use it and you want to spend a determination point to activate it,
Got it.
great. You get
Okay.
to do that, and you have an automatic crit success, and then you still get to roll your other 2 D20s.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So you can get a lot of success that way.
Okay.
Because a crit success counts as 2 successes.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, you basically the wording is entirely up to you, and it's your creativity to think about. But it has to be something to do with your upbringing on a frontier, edge of the universe kind of a colony, or on a very core kind of a planet.
So these, I apologize because I was in chat for a moment, but these are values?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they go in the value.
These goes in the values.
Gotcha.
And just one of them we come up with,
Just
or
one for right now, yeah.
one for now?
Oh, I think I got confused. I think values was what I was thinking of, was the character generating, and then also has this mechanical effect.
Oh,
with it,
okay.
Not the...
Not traits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the traits.
Traits still, traits don't trigger like a whole like you don't use them in the rolls as much.
Right.
Okay.
But they still have the mechanical effect of like, you like warm climates.
Yeah. I'm thinking something like I don't like this wording, but basically conveying the idea that like community is the answer to adversity. You know what I mean? Like let's do it together, kind of. That kind of building relationships is how you. Or like working together, cooperation is how you
takes a
make
village?
things better. It takes a village. That might be actually.
That absolutely. That is the exact
Yeah.
kind of thinking you want for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it will go. Yeah.
So-
is that? That's the idea that I want to convey. Is that it takes a village idea. Okay.
And you want these to be a little bit general, but not like Starfleet's always going to win.
So Starfleet's always going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, you can put that down and you can trigger it,
Right.
and that's just your belief in your head. Like maybe you're just the eternal
Klingon
optimist.
Vulcan hybrids are the best races in the galaxy.
Exactly.
Obvi.
So
How about when a door closes, a window opens?
yeah,
I like that.
Because I know a lot of them are like phrase length,
Yep.
not...
yeah, they are absolutely. One that would count for Captain Kirk would be there is no such thing as a no-win scenario.
Right.
Oh, right. Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
kind of the things we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with, and I'm cribbing it a little bit from another fictional universe, but I think it fits with what I'm thinking for my character. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes where there's a whip, there's a way.
That's exactly what I was like, this isn't the right time or place. But
Oh no, it's
where my mind always
definitely
goes
it's
to.
definitely the right time or place.
Okay. And then coming from a busy colony, you can choose to increase either your daring or your presence by 1.
Okay.
And then coming from a frontier colony, you can either increase your control or your fitness by 1.
Increase my fitness.
I will take daring.
Okay. And then,
I will go with control.
from a busy colony, you can either increase command, security, or science discipline by 1.
I'm sorry, command,
Security or
science. I guess I will take command since that's my primary role here.
Okay. And then from a frontier colony, you guys can pick con, which is navigating the ship, driving basically, because you'd use it to pilot a shuttlecraft or
Right.
Yeah.
a ground vehicle. All of that would be security or medicine.
No, now I'll check the con.
I'm going with security.
Cool.
Con goes to 2.
All right. And now we're already on to step 3.
Yay!
Ready your D6s, gentlemen.
Ready.
Yes.
My D6 at the ready.
This is it's funny. This is the least amount of control I've ever had over creating a character in a game, and I'm really super excited about it.
Cool. Love it. All right.
Part of the problem with me in Star Trek is I want to do everything, so it's really hard to come up with a good
Focus
history.
down.
So this is actually really great
Yeah.
for me.
All right. So in this case, we're rolling on for upbringing.
Wow. That is not what I expected.
That's a 6.
6.
I got a 5. Artistic and creative.
I got a 6. I was not expecting that. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's weird for you. Oh wait, yeah, we're in step 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay.
those, were those the same or?
No, he got a 5 and a
Oh.
6.
I got a diplomacy and politics.
Oh. What are
so the
1 through
choices
4?
are Starfleet, business or trade, agricultural or rural, science and tech, artistic and creative, or diplomacy and politics.
And this is your sort of previous.
No, this is your upbringing. Like
your
your
upbringing, okay.
child, like how you were, like what kind of stuff maybe your family was involved in, or
gonna be different than I thought.
Yeah.
that kind of a thing.
Which is always fun. That's like the
Right.
charm of Traveler, for instance. Is,
Yeah, exactly. Like
this is how life happened.
yeah.
Yeah, that.
So I have the character's life was filled with arts and creativity of all kinds, and no matter what pursuits the character favors, they are exposed to the great works of many cultures and given every opportunity to express themselves.
Like Admiral Thrawn.
Right? Yeah.
That did not work out. Hold on, I'm just sort of
Oh yeah.
glancing here.
Sure.
Yeah, and one of the things that I thought was interesting about this is, you still get a choice within this of did you accept that upbringing or did you rebel against it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really cool.
So for artistic and creative, if the character accepted this upbringing, they develop a greater understanding of emotion and communication, and they get insight by 1 and presence by 2. If they rebelled against this upbringing, the character is more inclined to action than to expression, increasing their daring by 1 and their fitness by 2.
So I got diplomacy and politics, and this character has been exposed to the complexities of political thought and the nuances of diplomacy since they were young, perhaps because a family member was involved in those fields. And if I accept it, I can increase my control by 1 and presence by 2. If I rebel against it, I increase my fitness by 1 and my reason by 2.
I can dig it.
I am gonna rebel.
Nice.
I'm actually going to take that same one, but I'm going to accept.
Aha.
Oh.
So it was control by 2.
1.
Oh, presence by 2 and control by 1.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
And my reason by 2.
And I am accepting the artistic and creative. So
Nice.
insight plus 1 and presence plus 2.
Very nice.
Yeah. See how
I
that
am
goes.
one jacked up half Vulcan.
Make
Yes.
sure I didn't knock you guys out of frame.
All right. Next, you get to pick a discipline to add +1 to. So for diplomacy and politics, you can choose between command, con, or security.
Ah.
For artistic and creative, you can choose command, engineering, or science.
I'm going with command.
I'm going with security.
And I'm sorry, I was
No, it's all good.
had something else out.
Command, con, or security.
Oh, for our
Plus 1.
for our track.
for your discipline. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Basically, because you picked diplomacy and politics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Command or con
Or security.
or security.
Look at
I'll
this.
take security this time.
All right.
Is that for real? I think that happens for you.
Yeah.
You gain a single talent from the.
Yeah. You do too.
Well, we'll get
Everybody
there.
gets
We'll
Oh,
get
we haven't gotten there. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're rushing through.
I'm sorry. I read ahead.
Focus.
All right. Next up, you get to choose a focus. Now, focuses are, again, something that's entirely your creativity to think about.
Okay.
But it's sort of, what kind of thing did your childhood kind of help you focus on?
Mm-hmm.
So some of the focuses, it might be like mechanical repair. So maybe growing up, you spent a lot of time trying to fix the farm equipment because you lived in a rural community. Maybe growing up, you spent a lot of time having to get along with a lot of kids from a lot of different races. So maybe a focus for you would be like interspecies communication, or even stuff like linguistics.
Right.
So, you know, like, if you're just naturally good at picking up languages, it's more helpful to you to kind of understand other cultures a little better, that kind of a thing. And, again, you want something that's a little bit general, but not broad.
Right.
So, some examples that we came up with, like negotiation, or physics, astrobiology, economics, you know, archaeology.
Okay.
Like, if you think of a major in college, it's probably a good focus.
You could always fall back on your degree in communications. If Jinko was foolish.
Trying to think about the systems analysis.
Oh.
Okay.
Is that just figuring out systems?
That's really
That's
cool.
cool.
Sure. So that would come into play if you were on an alien planet and you were trying to figure out how this weird ancient technology works.
We'll just
You're like, oh, hey, I bet you the green button means death. So we should push it.
exactly.
In this culture,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And the way focuses work is if I ask for a skill check on something, and you can come up with a reason to tie in one of your focuses, it means if you get a success, it counts double.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
I think I'm going to choose persuasion.
Sure.
I think that I'm trying to figure out how to focus this. The idea I have is similar to linguistics, but not necessarily. Linguistics to me sounds more studious, like, oh, you understand how language is constructed and blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
But I want more like someone who is able to pick up languages quickly and sound like a native quickly.
Polyglot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like linguistic. I guess linguistic polyglot
Yeah.
is probably a good idea for
Yeah.
that, if that's okay for you.
Sure.
Okay.
That will be useful.
Or polyglot just means that you understand multiple languages, doesn't it? Yeah.
No,
My-
there's like a thing.
Right? I feel like there's
I
a...
feel like there's a thing for that.
Yeah.
What's that thing? Oh, a word. I don't know.
For now, go with what we
Yeah.
got.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we all
So part of that
agree that we
later.
understand
Yeah,
what you're
yeah,
going for.
yeah.
Yep.
It's fine.
Right.
We'll look it up after we're not drinking Romulan ale.
Yes. Yeah, I
Not
have
good
to
for
say
the
the
thinking.
Romulan ale is pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
pretty-
actually pretty in
yeah.
favor of it.
Yeah.
Quite honestly,
Yeah.
that's
I'm liking it.
That's why we started the evening with it. It's not at the end of the evening.
Exactly.
It's gotta get
Yes.
home.
And now that
Yeah.
you've all made characters, have a Romulan
Yes.
and drive
What
home.
was the brandy?
The Saurian brandy.
Saurian brandy.
Yeah.
And
That's another one.
whiskey.
Aldebaran
Yeah.
whiskey,
Yeah.
Saurian brandy,
Yeah.
Klingon blood wine,
Uh-huh.
and Romulan ale.
Listen,
And
don't give away all the things I'm going to
Bajoran spring wine.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I feel like Klingon blood wine is going to be like Malort Sangria.
Oh, God. Except, see, the only problem is I kind of want that because I've never actually had Malort. And all my Chicago friends talk about it and how awful it is, and yet they can't not drink it.
Do you have any idea who you're talking to? That's exactly why I brought it up. It's so good. No, so there has been a tradition that happened a long time ago when the Happy Jacks crew, when we've all gone to the local Strategicon convention down at LAX for gaming, we've done a live show there. And somehow it got started. It got started with a friend of ours, Bill, that brought a bottle of this chocolate wine.
Oh,
Chocovino.
The Chocovino.
From the podcast.
That tasted like Yoo-Hoo and gym socks.
Oh, God. Oh.
And then it started this tradition of people bringing terrible things for us to try and drink and watching our reactions because it was funny for them. So we got one that looked kind of like the Star Trek the Motion Picture Warp Core, like that swirling miasma.
Oh,
in it,
you don't want to drink that.
Vink?
Yeah,
Something
with
like
a Q
that?
in it. Yeah, I remember that, yeah. But yeah, just this pile of things kept coming and horrible. And I got to a point where I was like, I don't want to play this game anymore. I want to end this game. So I went on Google and I typed in the worst liquor ever made. And it comes up with this article where 3 Chicago area sommeliers tasted it and offered their actual opinions on it. And the pull quote in the article, as soon as I got to the page, was, "It tastes like you had a big party in your apartment and nobody flushed the toilet all night."
My God!
I went, I'm sold. We're going to win this war and finish this game.
Mutually assured destruction.
So I went to the internet and I ordered 2 bottles of it, and the entire studio audience at the show only made it through half of 1 bottle because it was so horrendous.
Well,
It's like someone paints the inside of your mouth with bitter suffering.
oh, God.
And then it won't go away. Like, you could drink 3 other beers, and it's still just lurking in there to kill you.
I feel like, I haven't tried it, but I feel like it has one of my favorite quotes from Friends. Yes, I watched Friends back in the day. Where they're trying out the chocolate substitute called Mocklet. And Phoebe has a bite, she goes, "Oh, God, this is what evil tastes like." It's just been a line that's stuck in my head forever.
Yeah.
It is 100% that. Yeah.
Or like from anyone who watched Better Off Ted, they have the fake meat. Tastes like despair.
Yes. I love Better Off
So
Ted.
good.
So, I was so sad when it disappeared.
All right.
right.
So once you've chosen a focus, you then get to pick another talent.
Oh. From the list of talents.
Yeah.
On page
135.
135. This book is gorgeous.
I know, isn't it? You can borrow it sometime if you want.
I might just get one of my own.
Right?
Oh, so we
Oh,
were at
picking
this list
another.
before.
yeah.
I already know because I was
Oh,
going to
okay.
take. Let me find it again. Constantly watching.
Huh.
Okay. And this, I mean, I don't know that it has to be, but this should kind of be based on that early...
Yeah, if you can come up with even the vaguest thread that would connect it to your upbringing, that would be helpful.
okay.
Just the upbringing.
But I'm pretty generous about this kind of thing, so...
That actually works really well. Diffuse the tension. Whenever you attempt to persuade someone not to resort to violence, you may add a bonus d20 to your dice roll. Oh, I need command 3+, and I don't have that yet. The advisor is good. Whenever you assist another character using your command discipline, the character being assisted may re-roll 1d20.
That's pretty good.
That's really good.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I'm going to go with collaboration.
Okay.
And that is you must choose a single discipline when you select this talent. Whenever an ally attempts a task using that discipline, you may spend 1 momentum immediate to allow them to use your score for that discipline and one of your focuses.
Oh, sweet. That works. So now that focus has been brought up, I'll explain. Momentum has bin brought up. I will explain a little bit of how that works. When you make a roll, if you get more successes than you need, you contribute little momentum tokens to the group.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So there's a group pool
Right.
that here's this pool of stuff. So if the engines are knocked out and the ship is falling into a black hole, you guys are all working to try and fix the problem.
Yeah.
If you get more successes than you need, you put points in this momentum pool. If then Nick's making a roll and he doesn't quite make it, he could use some of that to
make his
get
roll.
an extra die or all
Cool.
kinds of stuff.
So do I need to pick a discipline?
Yeah, like
I'm going to go with con.
all right.
So when someone's working the con.
Sorry, I knew it was going to happen at one point in
exactly.
the night. So
Wait, what else? Buried alive. Buried alive. So I'm going to pick the con as the discipline so that I can help the person fly in the ship. That's the best part.
He tasks me.
He tasks me, and I shall have him. Oh, that performance is so good.
Oh, God.
You did not expect to find me.
Right? Yeah. And don't dare any of you try to say that was not his real chest. It was his real chest. I will call you out on that. Okay, so all right, so I got I got my attributes. I got my focus.
Mm-hmm.
I got my
Discipline.
talent. Wait, did I get a discipline? Is a discipline and a focus the same thing?
No.
Nope,
No.
you got your disciplines.
You should have picked one extra point for discipline.
All right, and I get to do that. No, I did that.
I think.
Picked
Yeah,
my
I
one.
did. I
we did that.
picked command. Yeah.
I think we did
Yep,
that. Yeah.
yep,
Yeah,
we
I
did
did
all
that.
that from step
Because I'm
3.
trying to do it
Yes.
in order.
Yep.
So then
Yeah.
you've got a focus after that, and
Yeah,
then
my
you're getting a
talent.
talent now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
And then we're on to step 4.
4.
The exciting time at
Yes.
Starfleet Academy.
Here,
I'm going to go random, but I am going to do a caveat that if I get a sciences, I'm going to re-roll. So I'm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
I'm
because it's
just gonna
1
pick
to
this
2
one.
command, 3 to 4 operations, and 5 to 6 sciences. And so I'm going to re-roll if I get a sciences.
I'm just going to pick operations.
That is perfectly acceptable.
Okay.
Yep.
I was gonna
1
pick
command
command.
track.
There you go.
I did it.
To command track operation. Where do I...
You don't need to write that.
Okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
Not right this second. Because we're going to do some other stuff. So,
let's just note it somewhere.
well, just keep it in your head for a second.
I wrote it down.
First things first, command track cadets are cadets that aspire to command their own starship someday. It focuses on leadership and interpersonal skills, diplomacy, decision-making in crisis situations, and understanding of protocol and procedure and starship operations, which also includes flight control. Many command track cadets begin their careers as flight control officers and pilots, where their training can be put to the test on a smaller scale, while they gain the experience necessary for more authority and responsibility. Command track cadets customarily undertake the infamous Kobayashi Maru test during their final year. So you can choose a value that relates to your time in command/pilot training at the academy. And then operations starts back here. Operations track is practical and hands-on, dealing with many of the realities of Starfleet's mission. Divided broadly into engineering and security divisions, operations track cadets are defined by a sense of pragmatism, whether that applies to the technical or the tactical. And you can also choose a value that relates.
Oh, a value that relates.
Oh, actually, I got a good one. Everyone has their place. I think that's good. Is that good, or am I drunk?
No,
That's good.
Go for it.
All right.
I like it.
Now, values don't necessarily have to be positive aspects,
No.
right?
Yeah.
On there. So, for example, a value that I'm considering, I might temper a little bit, would be like, I can only trust myself.
Damn it, I was going to do this.
Oh, well, go.
No. You said it first. It's all yours. It's all yours.
Well, I'm not sure it quite fits with where I'm going. So if that's something you want to go, you should do it.
I was definitely thinking trust no one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the Vulcan Klingon X-Files fan.
That's right. Lone gunsman.
The
Paranoid?
the logic is out there.
Like, I was a outcast. I don't like any of you people.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe I'm going to do something similar, but modify a little bit. Trust but verify.
Ooh, I like that. Trust in God, but build your house on high ground.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Never mind. I forgot that we got your value already, Adam. Sorry.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So-
good. I'm good. So, command track choosers you get 3 points that you can spread among your attributes any way you want.
Anyway, we
Okay.
want. Okay.
3 points
So-
to go to our attributes.
You can put 2 in something and 1 in another. You can put 1 in 3 different choices, as long as you don't spend more than 3.
Okay.
Oh, they have to be between 2 and 3 attributes, though. You can't put 3 points in one thing.
Okay.
And then operations, same thing. So you
All
get
right.
3 points.
3
spread
points
it out.
among these attributes.
Yep.
I'm so
Now the
very
attributes
generalist.
again have a max 12.
Yes.
And can I get a brief rundown on what everything is again? I know control is fine motions, mental
Focus.
bulwark,
Yeah.
focus,
Mhm.
stuff like that. Fitness is general running, jumping, climbing trees,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Mhm.
Presence is your charisma in
Yep.
terms of like how you control a room, how people
Absolutely.
respond to you.
Mhm.
Daring is quick action plans,
Shooting a phaser.
moving quickly.
Yeah. Acrobatics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Insight is just all sorts of ways of determining how things fit together in the world.
Yeah. So it's reading people's
as well as reading
motivations.
people.
It's being struck by the lightning on your kite
Okay.
to come up with an idea. The light bulb going off. and
Gotcha.
all- yeah.
Okay. So it's the eureka moment as well.
Sure.
And then reason is putting things together in a logical framework and figuring out how everything fits together. Okay.
All right.
So
All right, so let me just see. I added 1 to control.
Cool.
So I'm at a 9 for control, 1 to daring for an 8, and 1 to insight to bring me to 8. My presence remains at 7, so I'm not easy on the eyes.
Well, it's not eyes. It's just you don't have that room grabbing
Yeah.
gravitas
Yeah.
of walking into a room and everybody stopping their conversation
Yeah.
and going,
honestly,
What do you
I
have
think
to
that
say?
kind of works.
Yeah.
With like
Yeah.
if you favor the Vulcan side,
Yeah.
they're not like front and center. Look
Oh,
at
no.
me, as opposed to the Klingon side, which
Yeah.
would be.
Which
Right,
would be.
yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. I did +1 to presence, +1 to fitness, and +1 to reason. So I'm trying to stay like I didn't really intend this, but it's happening anyway. But I'm kind of staying very generalist. Like like I have a
that's
10,
fine.
2 9s, and 3 8s. So yeah,
being the guy that can
Right.
help out in a lot of ways
Right,
is not bad.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's the perfect executive officer. Like you can
Yeah.
fill in any gap. So
All right, so I took a point in control, in daring, and in insight. So bring me up to 10 control, 9 daring, 8 insight.
Nice. All right. Now, command track folks, you can choose whether you actually majored in command or if you majored in con. So if you really went the pilot route, if you were part of that, Wesley Crusher and his chums flying around and murdering people. Yeah.
They murdered so many
Yeah.
people.
so many people.
Wolverines! No, that's a different thing. Sorry.
Close though.
Yeah, there is like thematically very little difference between Wolverines and Red Squad.
I'm going to say command.
Okay. So that discipline increases by 2.
Okay.
You then select any 2 other disciplines, and they're your minor subjects. They each go up by 1.
Okay.
I'm going to I'm going to major in con, which gives me a 3 in that, so that it's +2 to the one I majored in.
Yes.
And then I choose 2 others that go up by 1.
Yes.
All right, so it's command and let's go with security.
And then if you're going engineering and not security,
Engineering goes up
engineering
by
goes
2.
up by 2, and then any 2 others by 1 each.
So engineering to 3, security to 3, and con to 3.
Nice.
I have a feeling our pilot's gonna die.
To be fair, pilots are the first to go
Yeah,
They really are.
in most situations.
Well,
Yeah.
it's because they keep putting those explosives in the panels.
I know. Like those, they should really work on the circuiting and those.
Right,
Like
yeah,
the con
yeah.
panels really blow up easy.
Oh, yeah.
That's like
a
the
lot,
first thing to
yeah.
I
go.
really feel like they all need to be plugged into surge suppressors.
Something.
Yeah.
Really got to work on that flaw.
That is Lost Dark Ages text.
Although if they didn't go out easy, there would be very little for the counselor to do. Sorry, Mac.
How did you get PTSD? My console blew up again! Again! Ah, this is the 8th time I've had to regenerate my fingers! Now, this is a big deal. You get to choose 3 focuses.
3.
Ooh.
Oh.
So it's things that relate to your major or minors in Starfleet Academy.
Okay.
So
Okay.
a focus could be like small craft piloting, or could be like warp field dynamics, or
Okay.
subspace physics, or all kinds of. And it does give some. I'll read the example ones here. So the command track examples are, excuse me, Romulan ale, astronavigation, composure, diplomacy, extravehicular activity, evasive action, helm operations, inspiration, persuasion, small craft, starship recognition. You're like a train spotter in that, Regula 1 train spotter. That's how you grew up. If only there had been one.
Exactly.
Figured out like, there's a bad thing happening. Starfleet protocols or team dynamics. Operations. They've got computers, cybernetics, EPS power systems, espionage, hand phasers, hand-to-hand combat, infiltration, interrogation, shipboard tactical systems, survival, transporters and replicators, warp field dynamics.
I'm going to go for... Got to pick 3 of them?
3, yep.
Now, do they have to be from those lists or associated, or those are just examples?
Those are examples.
Those are examples. I'm going to go
But
for
kind of gives you a broad brush.
weapon systems.
Sure.
I'm going to honor my Klingon half.
I'm going to do some hand phasers, actually.
You're a target shooter.
Yeah. And I think small craft.
I'm going to go for plasma manifolds.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
And to just throw everyone off, espionage.
Oh! Oh, shit! Yes.
Can dig it.
Oh. I will take survival then.
Oh, that's good. No, I'll
Yeah.
take this instead. Okay.
That's great.
With your permission, I would like to take espionage, guerrilla tactics, and fleet maneuvers.
Oh.
Oh, fleet maneuvers.
I dig it.
Suddenly, he is very interesting.
Commodore Nick.
Right?
All right. After your 3 focuses, you now get another talent.
Yes.
Woo! I like talents.
Delicious, delicious talents.
Forgot to write down my other talent.
Oh.
What did I pick? Oh, collaboration. I wrote it in the wrong place. I wrote it down, but I wrote it in the values.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You could also value collaboration. Like at some point when you get a new value, if that's something you're really
Yeah.
into.
Oh, and now I have command +3, so I can take that diffuse the tension.
Boom, boom, boom.
Ah.
No.
Yeah,
I just-
okay.
I want to see a Star Trek episode where there's people that are arguing at a diplomatic conference table, and some Starfleet guy walks in and just starts going, and everybody at the table's like, what is he doing? And it goes on way too long, and they're just going, until eventually they're like, maybe we should just sign this agreement and leave. We need to get away from
This is really awkward now. Like, it's just...
I'm going to take follow my lead
Oh, good. That's cool.
on the command.
I can dig it.
Can I take any of these?
As
long as I've got the requirement?
requirement for, yeah.
And I think that, like, under the Starfleet Academy one, it says, like, one of them has to be within your... Oh, no, that was the focuses. Yeah, talents, I think you can take anything. I'm smart.
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 I'm going to take quick to action.
Nice.
Because my Klingon blood gets up sometimes.
Yes.
So that during the first round of any combat, you and your allies may ignore the normal cost to retain the initiative.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
My Klingon blood.
You're going to whip out that dagger.
Yes.
Oh, yes. And to brush up on my Klingon. Beyond Kepla.
That's all I know.
Bolts!
Moats! Choi! Chu!
So,
You said you would kill me. Maybe later.
but, I played a little of that Star Trek Online game when it first came out, and then I stopped playing for a very long time. And then just this last summer, I started playing again with a buddy of mine.
Yeah.
And I made a Klingon, but I decided I was going to role-play him as just a terrible drunk. Like, just to myself. Like, not with any other people, but to everywhere I went.
Yeah.
So, like,
Headcanon.
I named all of my crew members Maltz, because I couldn't remember their names. I would just scream, Maltz!
Oh my god.
All right, so next step, we're on to number 5.
Number 5, step 5.
This is your career. Now, this one is a choose. You get to choose whether you want to be a young officer, like someone just out of the academy. If you want to be an experienced officer, that's someone that's served in the fleet for a while, maybe been on multiple ships, but not an old hand. You know, just an average serving Starfleet officer. Or a veteran officer. That's somebody that's really been in the fleet for a long time, has worked their way up through their department. And this sort of ties in with your idea of how old you want your character to be, what kind of rank you want your character to be, that kind of a thing. But it's just that this is just a you get to choose what you envision your character as. And just because, like, obviously, if you're thinking you're going to be a captain or first officer, you're not going to be a young officer.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that you have to be a veteran officer. You might just be a really talented, middle of the road kind of person that's really done a great job and worked your way up the ranks. Our game is set in the post Wolf 359
Got it.
universe, so there has been a lot of room for advancement.
A couple 3 ships went down.
Right. Yeah.
Remind me of what the order of ranks.
So
Yes.
it's ensign at the bottom, then lieutenant junior grade, lieutenant, lieutenant commander, commander, captain.
Got it.
Then Commodore and all the ranks of Admiral.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's chiefs and unenlisted
Right, that's,
Yeah.
yep.
below that.
So I'm playing the first officer. I'm going with commander rank.
That's perfect.
Or were you going with captain, Nick? Or captain rank?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what
That's
we were
cool.
at.
I'm
Okay.
down with it.
All right.
Cool.
So yeah, going with commander rank, and yeah, and I'm gonna do the veteran officer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you've been
veteran, not experienced. Okay.
Or wait.
Veteran's the older,
Oh,
like been in
the
the thing for
old,
a
yeah.
long
Yeah,
period.
I was.
Oh,
I was-
there's an
experience.
experience. Oh, I
Yep,
didn't see
there's a
that.
middle one.
Oh, I thought there was only 2, young or veteran.
Yeah.
Okay, experienced character has several years. Oh, yeah, that's what I want. Yeah, experienced.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that as well.
Sure.
Whereas I am going to go with young.
Very nice. So, as a young officer, you automatically get
Untapped potential.
untapped potential as your
Talent?
As your talent.
So,
And what that does is it limits you, so your attributes cannot go above 11,
got it.
and your disciplines can't go above 4.
Got it.
And then there are some mechanical bonuses that we can talk about later. That you can't be higher than a lieutenant junior grade.
That's where I'm going. Lieutenant junior grade.
Perfectly fine. As we play, you can advance out of that.
Right.
You're not trapped forever as the kid. Experienced officers, you can choose any talent. Again, it opens up for you. And then you all get a value that sort of ties into your time in the fleet post graduation.
Right.
So maybe this is your first posting out of the academy,
Maybe. Yeah.
because you can come out as a Lieutenant JG in the right
All right.
kind of field. That's okay.
Well, didn't we want to have we served together before?
Yeah, but he might be like you might have all been serving on this ship
Right.
together.
Okay.
Like it could be your first posting. It might
Yep.
be your second.
Yeah, no.
kind of
Let's
thing.
go with first is good. But yeah, we've been together for a while.
Yeah.
So what did I learn at the academy?
So
Or-
any talent and a value.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Experienced officers get to pick anything.
But we haven't done any more increases for attributes or disciplines, right?
No, this one doesn't increase attributes or disciplines.
Okay. May I borrow the book?
Oh yeah.
For a moment.
So I think, and the values are the ones we just come up with.
Yeah.
All right. This is going to be a weird one, but it does fit with all these things. Life is pain. And anyone who tells you different is selling you something. So I'm a little emo here. With my trust no one, there's a will, there's a way, and life is pain.
I get it.
And yeah, it's dark.
Yeah.
It's a dark time.
I like it though.
It's kind of interesting
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
starting place in a generally super optimistic kind of a fiction.
All right.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're just coming off of like a whole war with the Dominion.
We haven't gotten there yet.
We haven't gotten to the Dominion War.
We have just discovered that, hey, there's some people over on the other side
Oh,
of the river.
jeez.
Maybe we could be friends. Oh, no, we're not friends at all.
Not friends. No friends. But post Wolf 359.
Yes.
That's gotta
Essentially,
be-
we're aiming right at the within 6 months or so of the disappearance of the Voyager.
Got it.
So let me ask you, because I like this talent, interrogation. When you succeed at a task to sorry, I'm gonna nail. When you succeed at a task to coerce someone to reveal information in a social conflict, you will gain 1 bonus momentum, which may only be spent on the obtain information momentum spend. Which is a lot of words, but I believe it's not just like an interrogation scenario. It's just when you're talking to people, you're good at getting them to reveal information.
Yes. So if you are in a social situation, maybe you're, how many lights do you see? But maybe you're just at a party and you're trying to get somebody to talk about something they know.
Okay.
And if you succeed at that task, you'll get an extra one of those momentum chips we talked about.
Oh,
And if you spend it on it's just like a bonus one that you'll get that you can immediately spend. One of the things you can spend momentum on is obtain information, and if you pan one of those in and you ask me a question, I have to answer you truthfully.
Okay.
Got it.
So it's just an open book to you get some extra info from the GM.
Okay.
Got it.
I'm going to take that then.
It's a nice spectrum.
Yeah.
Talking to someone at a party, there are 3 lights. That's pretty much it.
Eat your rotten fermented egg chicken and like it.
Torn, but I think I'm going to go outside of the box a little bit and take field medicine.
Oh, nice.
Which is when attempting a medicine task, you may ignore an increase in difficulty for working without the proper tools or equipment.
I need a value. I think for value, I'm thinking something like learning is exploring.
Okay.
Or is it exploring is learning? I'm trying to like really parse like deep value statements here.
I get it. No.
Yeah. Which is really hard with Romulan Nail.
I like it.
Yeah.
And it really ties into sort of, the core value of Starfleet.
Right, yeah.
You're going out there to find new things and to add to the totality of human knowledge.
Right, yeah.
And I dig that. So either way. You could even write learning is exploring and strike that and reverse it.
Learning is exploring is
vice
learning.
versa. Another value. Let's see.
I think I want to kind of get at that idea that like experiencing new things is inherently valuable.
So you're going to be the guy that
Yeah.
when you guys all travel to a new planet and you meet new people, you're going to want to try the local cuisine.
Yeah,
You're going to
let's talk to
want
them.
to see
let's
the
explore
sights.
them. Yeah, let's see. Yeah,
You know, see
let's
what
find
they
out.
value as a culture,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Life is pain.
What do their genitals look like? I mean,
Why would it be on your knee?
right? Yeah, not everyone.
How many
keeps their
abs do they
genitals
have?
in the same place. Right? Yes. It's a pivotal question. That
It
should be
is.
asked of all alien
Right.
species.
Oh, how many abs do you have? Just mark that I owe a value here while I think about it.
Sure. And I'm fine with that too. Like if nothing's striking you right in the face, then feel free to ponder. That's cool. since we have the technology, we can communicate at any time.
What?
Woo!
We have communicators in our hands that talk to space.
That no longer flip open.
I know. Of
I
all the
really-
things they got wrong.
I really want that.
Motorola is actually reintroducing a new, like a new razor or something. That
flips open?
Yeah.
And they've never ended in Japan.
Right.
Oh, yeah?
They're still very flip phony.
It would be nice to not be constantly butt dialing people. Yeah. I mean, not that I do it that much, but still, like, more than I would like to. But. Okay.
What's
All right.
good value?
So we're on to step 6.
Step 6.
The exciting step 6. This is really my favorite one.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because these are career events.
Ah.
So, this one I would like everybody to do randomly.
All right.
Unless you really have some big pivotal event that you think happening in
Okay.
your career. So this one, you get to roll a d20. And
a
it's going
D20.
to come up with something that has happened in your career.
Okay.
Then, just
Yeah,
so
we
that
can scooch
we
that
actually
here.
have a.
Oh. Trey is closer.
And if it wasn't obvious to people on the camera, if you couldn't quite determine what was this crazy map, the game also came with a crazy, awesome map of
Giant map of
the alpha and beta quadrants. And basically everywhere that's ever been mentioned in a Star Trek episode or film.
All right, here we go. That is an 8.
Conflict with a hostile culture.
Ooh, fun. Okay.
Okay.
So you know what? Let's do these one at a time. We'll talk it out, and then we'll go on to the
Okay.
next person.
Yep.
So the character was involved in a major battle with a hostile force and is unlikely to forget the experience. Who was the enemy in this battle? Why did the battle occur? Was it fought in space, on the ground, or both? What did the character have to do to survive? Was the battle won or lost? Ooh, let's see. Who is the enemy in this battle?
Now, if you
Yeah.
want to take a minute and think about those questions,
Okay.
we can go around,
You're
but
gonna
we'll
read the
just do the
others? Okay.
mechanical stuff
Yeah.
first.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're going to get fitness up by 1,
Okay.
and then your security rating goes up by 1.
My abs are now at 10. I mean, my fitness is now at 10. Okay. Sorry, security goes up by 1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then you gain some kind of focus related to this conflict.
Okay. All right.
So something battle-oriented for
Okay.
a focus. And then you can think about the questions. We'll move on
All right.
around the table.
What is the...
I think it's a 1. The delta
No,
is
that's
a 1.
that's a 1.
That's a 1.
Ship destroyed!
Ooh.
well, Wolf 359.
Right? Yeah.
Very possible.
Yeah. The ship the character was serving on was lost, destroyed during a mission, and the character was one of the few who survived.
Okay.
What was the ship's mission? Was it something routine that went horribly wrong, or was it something perilous? What destroyed the ship? How many survivors were there? How long did it take before you were recovered? And you get daring 1 and security 1.
Daring goes up by 1. And security.
And I have. Go ahead.
Hold up, just a quick question. With my untapped potential, I can't go above a 4?
4.
Okay, good. So security goes up by 1. And I'm tapped out.
So now, if something would increase your security, you just put it somewhere
Add it
else.
somewhere else. Got it.
I rolled a 3.
3 is lauded by another culture.
Oh.
So, hang on a second. You also get another a focus
A focus related to
related
that.
to the fact that your ship got blown up. So they mention like EVA or small craft or survival.
Yeah, I'm going to go with survival.
Okay. Lauded by another culture. What was that? It was a 3. 3. Here we go. The character was involved in a mission that earned the official praise of a non-Federation culture. You are now considered to be a friend to that people.
Nice.
What was the culture that was aided by this mission? What was the mission, and why was it particularly praiseworthy? Does the character have any friends or contacts in that culture who could be contacted for help? You get presence up by 1,
Okay.
and science up by 1.
Okay.
And then you gain focus, which should be something to do with the culture. So once you decide what culture it was, maybe you've come up with a focus that ties into that.
Okay.
And then you also get the trait, friend to the blank.
Okay.
So I mentioned the example earlier of friend to the Ferengi. That's what somebody picked. But maybe you had a great time skiing on Breen.
Right.
So you know,
Do they ski? I don't feel like the
they come from
Breen-
ice. They're very cold weather people.
Cold.
They're very.
I joined the.
They don't look like they're like fun.
Well, but like
You never see them at home.
Yeah, like
No, fair.
maybe they get home and they take off the helmet and they're like all smiles because it's icy and cold now. Like, oh, it's just so hot outside.
yeah.
in space.
I mean, I'm pretty cranky all the time in summer here.
I asked the chat room who I should have a conflict with.
Ah.
'Cause I'm paralyzed by decisions. Although it could go with Wolf 359. So we're just after Wolf 359?
A little
Or is
ways
that
after.
A little ways after.
Because there's
okay.
been time that, like, the class of ship that you guys are going to be on,
Yeah.
it took a while to develop.
Right.
So it's several years down the road from
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the new wave of new Starfleet vessels is coming out.
Yeah.
Got it.
You know, there's the Intrepid class, like Voyager, that's made to try and
Right.
move fast enough to deal with the Borg. There's the Akira class, which is built to be kind of a rough and ready for a
Yeah.
fight kind of a ship.
Yeah. I
Kind
am.
of stuff. But those are just rolling out. You know, there's not tons of them yet.
Yeah.
Oh, right. You're looking at that too.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, no. I was just going to read off chat, but you have it.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm also in the chat.
Right. I
I'm like-
realized, I'm
like,
looking at your name.
yeah, because somebody was saying was the, OMFG so many usenames said I was thinking either Klingon or Vulcan to go with Jason's character.
Yeah, that's
TV, which is kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking of having the connection with you of maybe we were from the same frontier colony. Or isolated, or, yeah. So.
All right.
But it could also be interesting to have a conflict as well. But who are your friends going to be, Nick?
Yeah.
I'm
you
still
know yet?
thinking about
Okay.
it.
So, because I was thinking, because like Borg is an easy choice.
Sure.
You know,
Everyone hates the Borg.
right? Yeah. But I also would like something with a little more complexity, because like one of the best arcs for O'Brien in Deep Space Nine was like he's like so
Getting over the-
Cardassian
the
racist, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like and not for illegitimate
No.
reasons.
Nope. Not at all.
But then he starts to, you know, eventually learn that there's some more nuance to
Yeah.
Cardassians, and they're not all evil. So that was kind of, yeah. And I do love Cardassians, so that would give you an excuse to bring them in.
Can I throw something back? Can I throw all the way back? I mean, we mentioned this
Yeah,
way early, I think, in our going live
out
conversation.
there.
But can I be a friend to Tholians?
Oh.
A friend of the
Okay.
Tholians, and I don't know what that means yet, but they seem to be like a secretive
They are
race,
Super
and I think that would
xenophobic.
be
And yeah.
kind of interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
I dig it.
All right.
You like the Tholians, man. That's right.
Yeah.
I dig them too. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, what race develops a crazy energy beam web that takes 4 hours to build?
Jeez. But then again, I mean, only 4 hours. It's not that
yeah,
long.
right. It's fine.
I mean,
You hold still a minute. I'm gonna get my friends, and we're gonna really mess you up.
I mean, yes, when you're dealing with ships that can move faster than light. 4 hours is a really long time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with some Romulans.
Yeah,
Okay.
but all their Tholian engineers said it would take 8.
Exactly. I need at least 8 hours.
Yes.
I've never seen a web build something like that.
How else can we maintain my reputation as a miracle worker?
So yeah, I'm going with the Romulans.
The Romulans.
I'm starting to develop an idea that my mother was a Vulcan spy.
Oh, okay.
And the frontier colony placement in Klingon space was mostly a cover.
Okay.
Cover is like a science officer, and she was secretly spying on the Romulans, and our ship was destroyed
Okay.
when I was young,
Okay. Yeah.
and I'm the only survivor.
So my family is dead.
My family is dead!
Now, was your father there? Was he on the ship?
Yes. So
Oh.
they were both engaged. She brought him into her spying. They were both engaged in the spying.
So for you, it's Romulan bastards.
You Romulan bastards.
Killed my parents.
You cold-blooded Romulan bastards.
I never trusted Romulans.
I mean, who
never
does? Who really does?
Yeah.
I never forgive them for the death of my
My
parents. I dig it, man. Perfect. So who do you hate? No, who did you fight with? You might not even hate them.
I think I gotta go with the Cardis.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love Cardassians so much in this horrible way.
Timeline-wise, that would
It
make
works.
all the sense in the world.
It works.
And I feel like maybe there was a lot of conflict, like, going into battle against Cardassians and, like, in defense of Bajor or stuff like that. And it's, like, connection to Bajor. But yeah, I think Cardassians, I think the battle occurred, like, it was in space, because I took the shipboard tactical systems focus. And, yeah, I think it was just a conflict over, over the, the early withdrawal of, of Bajor and the Bajoran occupation.
Sure. So, like the same timeline that O'Brien fought them.
Yeah,
yeah.
basically, yeah. What did the character have to do to survive? And was the battle won or lost? I think in order to survive, I had to be ruthless. And I had to make a... I think I had to make a choice between... Like I could have not destroyed their ship, but there would have been some fallout from that. Like other people would have been hurt. And so I think I made like a very ruthless, preemptive choice to, to destroy their ship.
So you won the conflict. Maybe your choice was: do you finish them off, or finish them off quickly and leave before backup gets there to mess you up?
Yeah,
Kind
I
of
think.
situation?
Well, I kind of don't want it to be that justifiable.
Okay.
I kind of want it to be like there was a battle, right? So the ship I was on, maybe I was like tactical officer or something like that, and a Cardassian warship. So we were fighting, and we'd kind of won, and they were retreating, but they were going back to Bajoran space. And we could have let them get away, but I convinced the captain that we need to destroy them because they will just go back to Bajoran space and kill more people and enslave more Bajorans.
Okay. Yeah, I get
So
it.
I think I convinced
right
the
on.
captain to have no mercy, and and it kind of haunts me like
I like that.
like maybe I should have been more patient, maybe I should have been more forgiving.
No, that's not
But
the Starfleet idea.
yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
no.
Yeah. I think that
But it's understandable.
Yeah, it adds some complication rather than just, oh yeah, I did the right thing. Like maybe
Yeah.
I didn't,
Right.
and that
No, I
kind of haunts my character.
Completely dig it.
Yeah.
Right.
I just want to add one thing for mine, just a little context. It also asks, like, how long before I was covered. So, we were in a little, a small stealth craft spying on Romulans just past the neutral zone, got caught, they were killed. I was able to get the ship flying enough to fly it at like impulse power back into Klingon space, but it took a long time and was a lot of like keeping this ship going, and that's began the sort of engineering operations. I've got to improvise to keep this falling ship up together long enough to get to a Klingon outpost, and then was just sent to live amongst the Federation.
That's cool. I like it.
Were you sent to live with like Vulcan grandparents?
No, just sent
Just-
into the foster
Oh, I see. All right.
adoptive. Like the Klingons were like, we don't want you.
No, I get that. Okay.
And then there were no Vulcan parents, nothing. So like raised in the
In the Federation.
Federation foster system, which is
Oh,
not as pretty as you might imagine.
I feel like it's better than ours now, but
Slightly,
not
slightly, but still not great.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
so I'm actually going to change up something due to some conversation
Sure.
that was on here. Instead, I think I'm going to take Friend to Orions,
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
and the focus that I'm going to take from that is underground economics.
Ooh.
I like it.
All right.
Interesting. And I like it.
Yeah. And as the joke goes, thanks to Arson Crafts, is how do you tell an Orion merchant ship from an Orion pirate ship? If you have phasers, they're a merchant ship.
Nice.
All right. So guess what? We get to do this all again. Everybody roll another d20.
Ooh.
So you get 2 events.
Oh, you
for
get
your
2.
career.
That's
Ooh.
awesome. Oh my god, I'm so excited about this. Because I was just thinking, can we do this again? Solved an engineering crisis. 18.
Interesting.
8. Conflict
Look
with
at
the
the
hostile
hostile
culture.
culture.
If you want to roll again,
No, that's
if you dig it, that's
that's
cool.
fine.
But if we get
Double
a duplicate and you want to roll again, that's fine.
18.
Also solved an engineering crisis.
Okay.
So again,
yeah. I think I'll reroll.
okay.
It's because it's not really my jam. 20. First contact.
What?
All right.
Nice.
I'll take some first contact.
Well, I'm gonna stick
All right.
with.
So you're sticking with conflict with hostile culture.
Yep.
Yeah.
So mechanically, you get fitness +1 and security +1.
That taps out my fitness, and I have to move security somewhere else.
Nice.
And we'll move security to engineering. So engineering at a 4.
And then you get some kind of battle-related focus,
And
and you get to think about who you fought.
can I just? Is it the same? Can I use the same sort of logic there of Romulans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is a separate event.
Oh, it's a separate event. It's a wholly separate event.
Yeah. So maybe it was Romulans again. Maybe you're just...
Man, do not put this person on
Maybe-
your ship.
Yeah, I am bad luck. Ooh. Let me just see.
Here, let's look at First Contact, because I've never even read that
What
one.
is the
Page 123.
what is the Klingon word for Jonah? Or albatross?
I'm not sure someone is finding it right now.
The character was chosen to be involved in one of the most important Starfleet missions, First Contact with a new culture. What culture did the character make first contact with, and did the mission go well? You get presence +1,
Okay.
and and any discipline by 1.
Oh, any.
Because there's lots, as it says,
Yeah,
there's many
yeah.
ways you might be involved in a first contact.
Right. I think I'm going to up my command.
And then you get some kind of focus relating to what kind of first contact it was.
Okay.
And then, I'm sorry, Nick, which one did you get?
I had 18, solve an engineering crisis.
Ah, okay. You were influential in ending a crisis caused by malfunctioning technology and saved many lives in the process. What technology had malfunctioned and why was it dangerous, and how did you solve the problem? You get +1 control
Okay.
and +1 engineering. And then you get some kind of focus relating to this incident.
All right. I'll figure that out
All right.
and correct your camera.
All right, I think I've got this.
Bonking it with my head.
Orions are the pirates, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do pirate raids.
His friends.
Yeah.
Oh, this will be
Well,
good.
that's awesome. Well, yeah, I'm honored by them.
Oh, that's nice. We're honored by a pack of
Doesn't mean that's a great
murderers.
thing.
So at my
Pirates and slave
frontier,
traders, and yeah, they're just all
at my frontier colony that I wound up at, we're not going with. We're from the same one, right?
Like we could be.
You're a little older than me, so it's okay.
Yeah. We don't we wouldn't necessarily have grown up together,
Right.
but just have this connection. Like we both came from that same colony,
Okay.
and
and it could be like a shared colony situation.
yeah.
So
Right.
there's like a Klingon population
Right,
and
yeah.
a Federation
And a hu- yeah.
population that
Yep.
are coexisting, maybe in different settlements, but on the same planet.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
And then we like our characters had that kind of built-in connection in history.
Exactly.
You know.
That's
but-
actually one of the things we talk about at the very end.
Oh, cool.
All right.
Nice.
So
okay.
but you're just a little ahead of the game, but that's totally
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
with phaser marksmanship
Okay.
and say that my settlement on this colony on the frontier was attacked by a bunch of Orion slavers, and we had to fight them off.
Okay.
And I had to man the phaser tower and pick them off from the ground. Like it was a ground assault,
Okay. I like
Nice.
and so I got pretty good with a phaser. But Lord knows I don't like using them.
it. Get in there.
Ugh.
Pull out someone's sternum.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that, but it's also like like the Rock in The Rundown.
Oh, I get
You
it.
put a
Okay.
phaser in my hands, bad things happen.
Yeah.
Oh, that movie is such an underappreciated
It
gem.
really is. Yeah.
Movie as
yeah.
hell,
It's
but
so good.
But it's so much fun.
And-
Can I have a focus of like jury rig?
Sure.
Like, these aren't the right parts, but they're the right now parts.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Dave, so I know you have some idea for a story, and you're setting things in the Shackleton Expanse,
Yes.
which is a new area.
Yep.
Have you created any alien races for the Shackleton Expanse?
Not really like advanced
Not that we've met yet.
warp
Right,
kind
yeah.
of races.
Okay. All right.
Because at this point, in timeline-wise, really the only thing that's been out into the Shackleton Expanse before are like automated survey programs.
Oh, okay. All right.
And just in the last year or so, there have been now. You guys will be the fourth starship assigned
Okay.
to the area.
Because I'm thinking of maybe something over in that area.
It can be, and like when I start fleshing out like some of the races in that area, we can talk about that. And
Yeah.
maybe it's not like you approached a home planet.
Right. Yeah.
Because if you want to do like something like that, that's cool.
Yeah.
Or do you want to do like the Vulcans in First Contact? Like, do you want to be like in the mission that is actually going to a just newly warp capable race?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I'd kind of like to tie it to where we might go.
I dig
like,
that.
Yeah.
And-
so maybe I'll leave that blank.
Sure.
And then as we start to develop things, we can maybe figure out what is the species I was part of the First
Sure.
Contact mission with.
That's really the only question I really need to know is whether you wanted it to be like you were contacting a just new to faster than light travel kind of a race, or was it first contact with an already spacefaring species?
I feel like probably First Contact with an already spacefaring.
Okay.
But but
So
I'm
like
open.
maybe they already control some territory, like all the various random weird races that Voyager
Right.
runs into in the Delta Quadrant.
Right.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
it's one of those groups. So they do
Okay.
control some space. They have several ships.
Right.
That kind of thing. Cool.
Okay. So
Not sure on the pronunciation, but
Dokjak.
which might be something that like really gets under your skin.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
if someone calls you Dokjak,
Dokjak.
Nice.
which we recently learned is the Klingon phrase for bad luck as it approaches a person.
Yeah.
Like
That's
a person who's
awesome.
considered to be a
You are
curse
Dokjak.
or the,
Like
the
Stork.
albatross. Yes, exactly.
Albatross.
Stork is Dokjak.
That is literally his Klingon name.
Absolutely. Next time we see him.
So my focus, I'm going to take cultural studies.
Okay.
Because I feel like maybe my kind of like insight and like understanding was helpful to the captain of that mission.
Sure.
And that's kind of like what got me noticed, maybe to advance to commander or something kind of thing.
For sure.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Were we going to go through the ship attributes as well tonight? Do you think we'll cover that, or
We can talk about it.
Okay.
Like the actual ship attributes are pretty laid out already, so there's not a lot to do. But
Okay.
we can have a little discussion about some things that you guys really feel like you want to have on the ship,
okay?
and we'll talk about that. But yeah, because we still have a little time, right?
Yeah, we're at
Yeah,
9:20ish.
We got some
Yeah,
time.
Yeah.
Because we're almost done with the actual character generation.
Oh,
bit.
Cool.
So yeah,
So good.
so everybody got a focus from the second time around.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got their discipline and attribute. We did those right away.
Mm-hmm.
And then you answered your questions to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
That works. Cool. So now, final touches. You all get one more value. And at this point, they say it can be tied into your career events.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a relationship. So if there's something that connects you and another character, or even you and some NPC that you want to see on the ship, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have an idea in your head that you want to be dating another crew member, we can work that out. That's totally fine. And we don't have to flesh out like a whole character sheet for that crew member right this second, but
Let's see. Try to think of a really good value that kind of gives me a little more direction. Because I have that kind of like togetherness and order and curiosity. Trying to think what is missing from that.
I think I'm gonna go with thicker than blood. That's like, I don't trust a lot of people, but if I'm with you, I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
that's perfect. 100%.
Nice. I like that.
I've just realized I've basically created Amos.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to, but I've basically created Amos Burton, but in Star Trek.
Yep.
Yes, Amos is the best character.
Oh my
God.
Did you see the tweet for our game on Saturday? Got retweeted by Daniel Abraham.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
Way. Oh my God.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah, for those who don't know, Saturday here on Happy Jacks RPG, we're playing the Expanse RPG.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. You're playing in it today? Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, Dave, me, Joey. Is Gina playing?
No.
Jib is running. Is there a fourth?
There is.
I don't know who it
Remember
is.
who? I feel
Oh
bad.
my God, it's gonna
But yeah,
be so
it'll be
good. Okay, so
It's all space all the time.
right
In my brain right
yes,
now.
right, yeah.
There can be no adventures that aren't in space.
Yeah, right, yeah. Mac and I were joking that Monday is now Madam Monday because on alternating Mondays we're doing Carefree Eye Monster Arts together, and then on the
you're both
other
together.
Mondays we're both here on the Star Trek Adventures on Second Star. Okay, so I need a value that gives me something cool. I only got one trait, and that's my racial trait. That's normal?
That might be.
Okay. All right, cool.
Some of you might get a trait from from those career events.
Oh, okay. Some of them
That
do,
kind of
but
thing,
not
yeah.
all of them.
Like he got friend of the Orions
Right.
Okay.
as
All
a
right.
trait. So now if you guys run into an Orion, they could be like, "Oh, hey, you're that guy. You're that guy that didn't assume that we're all pirates out to murder."
Right. Whereas I'm sitting there going, when do I kill
Yeah.
them?
Yes.
When do I get to kill them?
You're like, Captain,
That's
please.
fine. That's fine. I'm the carrot. You're the stick.
I'm definitely the stick.
Do not make me let the Vulcan Klingon out. He's just standing in the background, frothing at the mouth. He'll get the neck pinch on you
Cap-
and then beat you to death.
You know, I know. See, that's
Well, yeah,
Now-
because if you have the neck pinch, they can't fight back.
Exactly.
When you lay that beat down.
Yeah.
Definitely. Captain, you're not that guy. I am that guy.
Right. I love when Amos goes to that one doctor and he's like, "What exactly does psychopath mean?" Basically, you know, like because I think I might have this thing that you got where you don't know what's right and wrong. Like, God, I love Amos so much.
But while you're still thinking about value,
Yeah.
it's cool. Everybody else, look at your attributes. Make sure they're not above a 12 or 11 in your case.
Not above 11.
Okay.
After you've done that, you can pick 2 attributes and increase them by 1 each. You still can't violate the limit.
Okay. Everybody gets to do that?
Yep.
Pick 2 attributes and increase them by 1.
As long as you don't go over that 12 one.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, 2 attributes and increase them by 1. Okay. They'll have to be.
Gotta max something
I
out.
just added a
Yeah,
value.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
too.
You need to add like a.
I've
a
got
trait or
11.
anything
I've got to
else.
get a 12.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What did you go for on that?
Presence.
Okay, excellent. That
Yeah.
that would have been my other 11, so I took control.
Oh, okay.
So-
Yeah. So I have control 8, fitness 10, presence 12, daring 8, insight 10, and reason 8. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
12, 2 10s, and 3 8s.
I ended with control 12, fitness 7, presence 11, daring 9, insight 9, reason 8.
All right.
That works.
I wound up with control 10, fitness 11, presence 7, daring 10, insight 8, and reason 10.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay.
Shockingly, this random generation ends up with fairly useful characters.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Now, you get to look at your disciplines. Make sure none of them are above 5 or 4. If once you've done that, you get to increase 2 disciplines by 1 each.
Okay.
Security 5.
And it has to be 2 separate ones by
Yes.
1.
Mhm.
Okay. What does command cover again?
Command is any situation where you're leading other people, or it would also be like when you're in the role on the bridge where, like, if you're talking to some hostile alien, your command might be you trying to defuse the situation.
Okay.
You know, it would, all of that would be part of you know, even getting into negotiation. You know, you're trying to command the situation of dealing with, again, a hostile force or something, trying to talk them down, anything like that,
Okay.
or inspiring your crew to do something, or
Cool. Again, I figure I got to max something out, so I'll max something out on that.
I maxed out security, and I'm trying to debate because I have engineering, science, and medicine all at once, and then I have security 5, command 4, con 3. I'm like, should I just like fully embrace the min max, or should I just something out of 2?
I think that you should fully embrace the min-max because
Yeah.
I think that creates kind of an interesting character who
Uh-huh.
is
focused on this one thing,
Yeah.
and the rest, like, you have the basic competency. You went through boot camp, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
But you don't like
Yeah.
medicine, science. Like, that's why I have people who I
Right, exactly.
who I
Yeah.
command to do
I'm
that for me.
trained to tell you to do it,
Yeah,
exactly.
not how
You're
to
a
do
squint.
it. Right? Yeah.
You squint at things.
All right. I'm going to go with, yeah. So I'm going to increase the con as well. So security was at 4, and I used 1 point to increase it to 5. So now I have security at 5, command and con at 4, and the rest at 1. That'll be
right.
fun.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up slightly more well-rounded. I have command 5, security 3, science, con, engineering, and medicine all at 2.
Yes, I went min-max as well because I have command at 1, security at 4, science at 1, con at 4, engineering at 4, medicine at 2.
And this is a Star Trek future, so just because you have a 1 in something doesn't mean you're incompetent. You're not like
I mean, we know how to say computer do X.
Yeah, exactly, right?
and, like just because you have a science rating of 1 doesn't mean you couldn't reasonably figure out like some kind of readings based on your tricorder or whatever.
Right, no,
Yeah.
just it might take you a little more time.
Yeah.
And
Right.
since these all combine with an attribute,
You're right,
you know,
exactly.
just because you're using, you know, the attribute can help
Right.
counteract some of that.
Yeah.
Like maybe you're trying to train another crewman to compete in a gladiatorial combat to save the crew. So that would be like fitness and science.
Yeah.
So like you're like developing the training regimen.
Right?
For them,
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
On this planet, when they say mathletes, they mean mathilators.
Methylator.
all right.
I got my value. I think.
Okay. Shoot.
The important fights are the hard ones.
Ooh.
All right.
That's cool. So I had out a value from before, which I took layers upon layers.
Like a parfait.
Yes, exactly. Like an onion, like a parfait.
A trifle.
And then the other one for the sort of relationship value, I have keep your friends close, ...
All right.
So I've ended up creating like this kind of shifty
Yeah. I know.
captain thing. So,
yeah, it started out like you were going to be like so like nice
Shiny and
shiny,
brown.
right? Yeah. Yeah.
He's
He's like
Captain Lorca.
right? Yeah.
I'm inadvertent Lorca.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Accidental Lorca.
Oops, accidental Lorca. Hashtag accidental Lorca. I love
Right?
it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh god.
All right. We did that. Oh, your total stress value is your fitness plus your security.
All right.
And you can just kind of write it in on the orange line. I find that
okay.
helpful. And then as you take damage, you can fill in bubbles quick.
Yeah. Okay.
Anytime you make an attack, you get some bonus of these dice
No?
based on your security discipline. So if your security is 4, you get extra
Okay.
for doing an attack.
What is that? So.
There's not really anywhere to write that,
Oh, okay.
but just it's something in the quick to go over.
So your security adds to your attack.
Yes.
Okay.
Personal details time.
Woo.
So you get to kind of come up with a rough description of your character that you can certainly refine at any time. That's fine. Sort of age of the character, and then come up with a name. And they give some examples of the various racial names in the book.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just making stuff up, but I'd love to hear some
Yeah.
semi-canon.
Yeah, so some male trill names, for example.
Okay.
Arjun, Bajal, Curzon, Hanor, Joran, Malko, Selin, Timur, Tobin, Torias, Varad, Yedrin, Kemen, Subin, Joel.
I like Varad, actually.
All right.
That's pretty good.
That's Verad.
Yedrin and Sabin were both Daxos. Sorry.
And then you have a family name because you're not joined.
Correct.
So they have Naden, Sozan, Rulon, Les, Trowel, Inazin, Hama, Kellen, Razix, Idiron, Peron.
So I had written down earlier, and I just want to make sure this is okay for you, Raxian.
Sure.
Okay. Varad Raxian.
Nice.
Captain Raxian.
Captain Raxian.
Human names.
Ah, yeah.
Some common ones.
I've never heard any human names. I have no idea what it's
Some it's like
Yeah.
Bill,
Yeah.
Bob, Robert,
Right, yeah.
They don't actually say.
Edward.
So I went with Isaac Malata.
Okay.
And that's spelled Malvta. It's
okay.
Malata is the Choctaw word for lightning, actually.
Oh, right on.
So
Ooh,
yeah,
cool.
So, and
You'll probably
yeah.
have to remind me of the pronunciation
That's all right. Cool. Yes,
because I'm
Yeah.
bad at that.
yes. So
But-
it's Commander Malata.
Rorg.
Rourke?
Rorg.
Rourke. Cool.
Nice.
All right. Is there a Klingon family name?
No. There should be. Though it's the house, right?
Sort of. Yeah.
Because it's like house of, like...
Yeah. You'd be son of would be your father's name.
Right.
But you'd be of house whatever.
Son of... there was always the rice, so... Chewy. Son of Chan.
Okay.
Nice.
Chon.
Chon.
Okay.
Rorg, son of Chan.
That's good.
I dig it. Ranks. Did everybody pick a rank? Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah.
Yep. Lieutenant junior grade.
Yeah.
Maybe Commander.
So
Captain.
the commanding officer, you get a special power. You can spend a point of your determination to grant any other character that you can communicate with an extra point of determination.
Okay, so spend one determination to give anyone I can communicate an additional point of determination.
Yep. So it's you're able to share.
I can tell them to make it so.
Yes.
Yes.
Executive officers.
Huh? Me.
Anyone that's in communication with the executive officer spends a point of determination. You can spend 3 momentum immediately to let that character regain their spent point.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So if you are on the bridge and you use a point of determination to fix something, the shields, so you
Right.
don't all die, he can spend momentum immediately to give you that determination
Get back.
right away.
Good job, Rorg.
Rorg. Sure.
Oh, I feel determined now.
Yeah.
For engineering, when aboard the ship, the chief engineer, you always have the advantage of engineering department, which represents the ship's complement of engineers and technicians.
All right.
So whenever something goes wrong, you have people.
Got it.
Nice.
You can send Barclay off to control the gravitonic mirrors rather than having to do it yourself.
Always sending Barclay off.
I think Scotty liked to go up in those nacelles all the time for a little nip.
Right? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You guys take care of this. Based on how this is kind of rolled out, I might change some of my things, some of my ideas. Which
And again, I'm totally fine with that.
right,
Or even if you get home later and you have some lightning bolt of inspiration come to you about like, oh, this would be amazing.
right.
That's fine. I don't have any problem with that. The one thing I would ask is if you guys could either take a picture of your sheet or something and just upload it to the Slack
Yep.
for me so that I can kind of have it because it's something that I need to kind of keep tabs on. Because I sort of need to know what your values are and stuff mechanically when we get into it.
You want just one
Yeah, you
picture?
bet.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's good.
Or
All right, you
if you
can
need to
zoom.
take a couple to make it fit or whatever,
Nope.
it's all good.
Awesome. Oh, I'm so excited.
So, since all the people listening have not heard that we've talked about a ship a little bit, the ship that you all serve upon is an Akira class ship that came out. The ship type came out after Wolf 359, and it's sort of Starfleet realizing, hey, maybe we should actually build some hardy fighting ships again, and not just idealistic, let's go on family cruises kind of a ship.
First seen in canon in First Contact.
Oh, that's of course. I just asked you guys to put that in a second. Like, who's sending me messages?
It's blowing up.
What is happening? So, in the game, mechanically, the ship has its own systems that when you are aboard the ship and you're doing something that involves that system, it gets to roll to see if it adds to your success.
Okay.
So you do your roll, and then if you were trying to work on something that involved the ship's computer, the ship's computer rating on your ship will be a 9. So you roll a d20 for the ship.
Got it.
If it gets under a 9, then the computer was able to help you do
Right.
something. So you get a bonus success out of the situation, like that. So much as it should be, I think, mechanically for a Star Trek game, the ship is very much a character.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Good. I love that.
Because really it gets real dull if it's just a bunch of people sitting around on
Right.
a back porch talking about how wish they could go explore space. I mean, that might be an interesting one-shot episode.
Right. Yeah.
Or,
Sure
I
would
mean,
be
like,
nice to
just
explore
to
some
sort of
space.
trawl that, having to figure out merchant transportation to wherever they need to go. for
Oh,
whatever
that
mission.
actually would be
Like,
cool.
they all have to, like,
Well, stranded somewhere.
we don't have a ship, so now we have to arrange transport to all of these.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We're just a bunch of mercenaries that roam the galaxy.
Right.
with a ship. So, I was thinking about names for an Akira class ship, and they're very defensive and they're very tough. So I thought up the USS Barbican as the name of a medieval type of shield. And in this case, the Barbican has been assigned to Narendra Station that we looked at on the map earlier. It's way out on the edge of Federation space, beyond the Klingon Empire. And the expanse beyond it was named the Shackleton Expanse because it's pretty much unexplored. There's been some automated probes that have gone out there and looked around, but certainly not a lot in the way of actual ships going exploring yet. But as the Alpha and Beta quadrants keep filling up with people and alliances, a lot of the factions and powers there are looking at anywhere that's not already claimed by something. Especially now, in the era of Starfleet trying to build up, and the Romulans worrying about the fact that the Klingons and the Federation are working together,
Right.
and the Cardassians causing trouble over on their side, and now there's some weird people on the other side of this wormhole we found out
Yeah.
that aren't necessarily the nicest folks.
No, it's going to be fine.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's very cool.
So, the primary
shapeshift.
reason why your ship has been sent out here, there have been 3 ships assigned to Narendra Station before. The Bellerophon, which is an Intrepid class ship, like Voyager. The Venture, which is a Galaxy class ship. And another Akira class ship called the Thunderchild. And all of them are on primary exploration as their mission. The first mission that you have out here is to try and deal with finding some more sources of material called, let me see if I get this right, Verterium cortinide, which is the actual material in Star Trek that is used to make warp coils.
Okay.
Because Starfleet is really trying to build up a lot of ships. And
Yeah.
they've discovered a significant sources of it out here in this expanse.
Okay.
Some in populated systems, some out there that might be able to mine. that kind of stuff. So one of the things I want to do for your ship is make it so you actually have some capacity to mine ore.
Okay.
So if you find something out there, you can take a little while and successfully mine it. Great.
Yeah.
Gives you something you can trade with out here, because beyond Narendra Station, there's no Federation support structure.
Right.
Got it. So once you get out there a ways, it's much like I was talking about Enterprise, the show earlier. You're kind of out there.
Yeah.
It's out there in the world.
Yeah.
You can send some messages back, but that's about it. You have been told that there is intelligence saying that the Romulans are pushing hard out this direction. Again, because they fear this Klingon Federation alliance. The Klingons, they're also kind of pushing out this way.
Okay.
I think because they realize that even though everything's friendly with the Federation, they're kind of hemmed in now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
We need breathing room.
Yeah.
Earth, Hitler, 1938.
Like I said, it really is amusing to me to be like, oh, far more obsessed and geeky about this area than I am.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. No, I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really super enthusiastic about it.
I'm glad you do, because it's a little ridiculous.
well, it's going to get real quick if you don't like it.
Oh, yeah, for
It's
sure.
going to be a slog.
Right? Yeah.
What does my contract say?
Remember, there's always a tar monster waiting for you.
Right? Always. Yeah. Oh, my God. Okay.
Need
So
to get out of Star Trek. Just 1-800-ARMIS.
So much like a character, the ship also gets some special talents.
Cool.
So in this case, the basic talents of an Akira-class ship are ablative armor, so it's got a tougher hull, extensive shuttle bays, which is one of the things that kind of gave me this idea about harvesting stuff, because you have room for a lot of that, and you have a lot of small craft available. You're not in a situation where you're like, well, we've got 2 shuttlecraft, so I really hope we don't lose one on the planet every time we land. And also there's a rapid fire torpedo launcher. So
Bam.
to picture an Akira class ship, for those of you that might be watching,
It's so pretty.
they look a little bit like a modern updated version of the Reliant from Star Trek II, the Miranda class ships that had that sort of pod up above. In this case, it houses this big photon torpedo mechanism.
And actually, the NX-01, the Enterprise from Enterprise was very inspired by the Akira class as well.
sure.
Yeah.
It's
Rather chronologically vice versa.
Well, yes,
Yes.
yes. In story,
Yes.
we
the
all
Akira
know
was
that
inspired by
Enterprise
the
had
Enterprise.
a lot of time
yes.
travel going on.
That's
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's all
Flip that in reverse.
Right.
One
yeah.
of those designers got sucked through a hole in time and went,
Right.
hey, that's a great Star Trek
class.
design.
Yeah.
Now I have to figure out how to make it work with 22nd century
Right.
technology.
Yeah.
Here you go. But I'm happy to think about incorporating things on the ship that if you have some vision of something you really want to have on the ship, I'm totally cool with that.
Okay.
So some of the other ships in this era, they have stuff like the Defiant class ship already has quantum torpedoes at this point.
Okay.
Galaxy class ships, they have extensive laboratory system. They have the saucer separation is another talent, and more redundant systems. Intrepid class ship, they get stuff like improved warp drive and advanced sensors. They also get the emergency medical hologram. So any kind of thing that you've ever heard of or thought about, I'm open to negotiation.
Yeah. One of the concepts I've always kind of liked is that idea that these like pods might be interchangeable. You know, so you can like right now, maybe we're equipped with like a sensor survey pod,
Right.
but we could also go back and switch out for like the colony pod and like to go evacuate because they had that kind of pod, and like maybe at a big starbase you can modify them, and
So like a modular subsystem.
Yeah.
I like
like
it.
a plug and play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like be able to like customize for multiple missions,
Right.
which can also be a lot of fun narratively if like you've got the colony pod, but all of a sudden you're called to battle and there is no place to like
Quickly,
Right.
throw the colonists at them.
right? Yeah.
or vice versa.
Or vice
You're
versa, right.
set up for war, and suddenly you have to evacuate
Evacuate
a
a colony.
population of a planet.
Yeah, exactly.
And-
Yeah. Now we're stressed.
And we just
and,
got a bunch of torpedoes.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Can we just torpedo them?
Right. Yeah.
Is that an option?
Pay real money if he'd shut the hell up. Folks, welcome. Like, it's going to be months and months of Adam pulling out random fucking Star Trek quotes for every situation. If this is what you like, I give it
Tell
to
all
you.
your friends.
Yeah, tell all your friends.
This is what you don't like. Tell them because they might like it.
Right, yeah.
Just
If
tell your
you've
friends.
ever wanted to watch an actual play RPG and have somebody quote Star Trek every 3 minutes, you're in the right place.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you should bring like one of those little trackers.
Click,
click,
click, click.
I'm sorry.
You only got 37 in this. this
We're
game.
at maximum
Oh, man, are you
occupancy
okay?
for this hour. Dial it back for a
Quick, how many fingers am I holding up? That's not very goddamn funny, Jim.
So,
I can't help it. I cannot help it. This is the way my brain works.
one of the things with having the extensive shuttle bay thing
Mm-hmm.
is the ship also has 2 full-size DS9 style runabouts
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
nice.
on board. So, like,
Nice.
you can do multiple base
All
operations.
right, cool.
Well, maybe like that's the pod we have on right now is the the expanded shuttle bay thing, or maybe it is, and maybe it's there as well as whatever mission pod we have. But
Yeah.
Yeah. The question
Yeah.
is, are these or do we have flat pack shuttles or do we have Previa shuttles? Because everyone knows the Previa shuttle is superior to the flat pack.
it's true. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Do we need to add more stuff?
If there's,
Oh.
I mean, obviously you're allowed to think about this.
Right.
Anytime in the
Right.
future, if you come up with something that you think like, oh yeah, I think our ship should really have this, then we can talk about it. And if it's something
Right.
like crazy, stupid, powerful or something, then I'll
Right.
be like, well, what do you want to get rid of?
Right.
But
All right.
if it's something that makes sense, then I'm
Uh-huh.
totally fine. And we can assume that there is at least a basic kind of a holodeck, because this is
Oh,
the
yeah.
next generation era.
Yeah.
Right?
There's all the basic facilities you'd find on a starship.
Yeah.
Cool.
In this case, the ship does not have families aboard like a Galaxy-class ship.
Right.
Because this is designed much more as a mission-specific
Yeah.
/war/defense ship.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
But I suppose we could have families on Narendra Station, maybe,
Yeah. And
if we wanted families.
there aren't Starfleet policies about intercrew relationships.
That's true.
Yeah.
There clearly are not. They do not have an HR department,
Nope.
and they desperately need one.
Right? Yeah.
Desperately.
Right? Yeah.
What color uniform does HR get?
Riker slept with 2 co-workers on one mission.
Right. Yeah.
Not good.
Exactly.
People in the future make their own choices.
Yes,
Right.
they do.
Yeah. Yep. Oh my god. Yeah, and I guess it makes sense if you have a multi-species Starfleet, you can't really have a human relations department.
No.
This kind of
Staff relations?
Certain inalienable rights.
That's right. Yeah. You want to know something, Spock? Everybody's human. I find that concept insulting. Welcome to Second Star, folks. I am not going to stop. If this part has turned you off, you will never enjoy the show. I can't stop.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty
Awesome.
good. And I'll supply the ship information to you guys
Cool.
as a baseline. That's pretty simple. Strengths of the ship, security and medicine. Because again, it's a ship designed for combat. So, it's not as science focused as other vessels, that kind of thing. It also doesn't have the stupid biological computer system.
Oh, no bio-neuro gel packs.
Yeah.
So we won't have to like get the cheese to sick bay.
Yeah. Someone just sneezes in the warp core, doesn't just ruin your whole week.
Oh, why?
Although get this cheese to sick bay was a really good line.
Yeah. So I think we're good there. Does anybody have any questions?
Let's see. I don't think so. So next time we'll start our story, and are Mac and Terry are gonna make characters in between, maybe, or will we?
I don't know whether I'll meet up with them or I can just do it online.
Yeah.
It's not that difficult to do.
Yeah.
Any which way, and then we'll also have possibly another player joining.
Ooh.
Once we get into September.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is going to be a full house, everybody. It's not the traditional four-man Happy Jacks RPG kind of crew.
Yes.
Because it's Star Trek. There's a lot of departments.
There's a lot of people.
Exactly.
You
Shake
need
up
a
the
ensemble
paradigm.
show.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. We have to think about what colony if that is connected. Yeah.
I like it. I like being over in Breen space.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
All the way over there.
Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. Think about that.
The other thing that I'm happy to talk about is kind of like the X card mechanic in a lot of games. If there's any topics that really hurt you as a person or you don't want to see come up, feel free to message me privately, or we can talk anytime. I'm happy to just throw those away and they won't even appear.
Okay.
I'm not generally a person that tries to go for horribly offensive topics in RPGs because that's not fun.
Yeah.
Well, and it's also kind of antithetical to this
Yeah,
world.
right.
Star Trek is not the universe for gritty horror.
No,
Like,
it's not. It's and this is why it's always been important to me. It's an optimistic exploration of human nature.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that has always made it appeal to me is that. And this is why, like, at the beginning of Discovery, I was like, oh my god, I'm not sure how I feel about this. Because I was worried, like, oh no, now it's cynical and dark and cruel, just like everything else that's on TV. And so...
Gritty reboot.
Right, exactly. and like, sure, it worked for BSG because original Battlestar Galactica had nothing to offer except, like, candy corn adventure, but Star Trek has always meant something, and so if you change something fundamental about what Star Trek means, it really it disturbs me. It makes me sad. Like, of course I'll still watch it and I'll still spend money on it, but
now if anybody sends me a message and says I've never trusted Klingons, then they're still going to appear in the game.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
But if you are interested in that, we are going to have a Happy Jacks After Dark, where we play Fatal Track, which is going to touch on all those topics.
Fully functional.
Enjoy that. You guys have fun with that.
I am not going to be here for any of that.
I will definitely be sending HR to that game.
Definitely will invent HR for that. Captain, I was looking in the historical archives, and it seems that there used to be a group of people called Human Resources.
And Riker's like, sounds hot.
Human relations?
Right.
Now, one of the things to talk about also is that normally we're on a 2-week rotation, but we're going to have a break in 2 weeks because in 2 weeks is the last day of the game convention down by LAX.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
and it's Labor Day too, right?
It's also Labor Day.
All right.
So if I go to a game convention for 4 days and then I come home and I pick up a whole different set of RPG books, and wave at my wife and try and run out the door, I will die.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That
So-
seems reasonable.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm not one to want to tempt fate like that because she's a peaceful person at heart.
Everyone's got their limits.
But
Right, yeah.
so we won't be playing on Labor Day, but then we'll pick up
Okay.
2 weeks
Okay.
after that.
Sounds
Once
good.
we get into September.
Yay.
Excellent.
Yes. I am so excited. I'm so
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah. This is
My
going to be
life
so
is
much
now
fun.
complete. Yeah.
I'm excited to see where we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the
Boldly.
things that I want to mention, is my favorite mechanical thing in this book,
Yeah.
is the fact that they actually have a rule set for figuring out the unknown.
Oh.
So if I throw some weird, your ship enters a system, something impacts with one of the nacelles, but you didn't see anything on sensors. There's no visual record of it. Just suddenly whack, and the warp drive is offline. Power is fluctuating.
Yeah.
You guys are trying to figure out what the heck's going on, and then you're starting to see weird distortions, and you don't know. There's a whole scientific method rule system.
That's so great.
For okay, you guys come up with 3 possible things that it might be.
All right.
So maybe you come up with it's a gravitational anomaly,
Right, yeah.
so it's something to do with subspace physics.
Right.
That's number 1.
Yep.
Number 2, it's maybe it's a new kind of cloaked weapon, right? And number 3,
It could be bunnies. Sorry.
maybe
Big
it's
bunnies.
wrong franchise.
But so you come up with 3
Space
things,
bunnies.
right?
Space bunnies.
And then in my head, I go, all right, well, it's definitely subspace physics. It might have to do with space bunnies. That's the long way to get where we're going. And it's not a cloaked weapon,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So then you guys start to figure out and deal with the problem with some rolls. And if you choose to go down the cloaked weapon path, you only have so much time to figure out the problem before something terrible happens.
Yeah. Right.
So if you spend some time on the wrong one randomly, you might get one step in, and I go, "Oh no, clearly it can't be that."
Yeah.
Like we've ruled all those problems out, Captain, and you go, oh, "Shit."
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
okay, so then you go back and start to research one of the other ones.
Yeah.
And the long shot space bunnies, that might take some extra time to accomplish. So if you failed once already, and now you're going for the long one, but you don't know which one it is, 'cause
Right,
you're
yeah.
actually trying to come up with, well, what would it really
Really
be? Like,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's this neat mechanic for coming up, like you come up with the solutions, I pick which one is
Right.
actually the solution.
That is
All right.
really cool.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
That sounded really neat. When
Yeah.
you
I'm
described it
super
before.
excited about that.
Does it help us come up with metaphors? Like slowly releasing the air from a balloon.
That is your job.
That'd be great.
I know, right? Yeah.
So,
Metaphors.
Like
will
putting
be
too much
strong.
water into a glass.
Right.
The overflow has to go somewhere. Yes.
What if we just break the glass, Roy? Just break the glass.
I didn't think of it that way.
so and that's I thought that was really cool.
That's really
Yeah.
cool. That's really exciting.
I'm so excited to play this game. It's just like I've heard that at times it can be a little clunky, but it just gives you that little bit of crunch and scienciness that that Star Trek should have.
That honestly has
yeah.
been my anxiety about the game.
Yeah.
Is the coming off the last game I was running, which was Tales from the Loop,
Right.
which is probably the simplest game mechanically I've ever played.
Yeah.
Like it's just dead simple all the time. To now, there's some rules in here,
Yeah.
and there's some really neat stuff in here, but it's still a lot more dense mechanically.
Right.
And I was just like, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy that shows up to run a game and is like, I don't know how you grapple with that guy. Hold on. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What page are the grappling rules?
Right. Yeah. Oh
there's
God.
3 bookmarks built into the book. One of them will be on grappling. For
Grappling
sure.
hooks.
Right. Yeah.
We're actually grappling.
That
I
right.
see many questions.
It's a very important point. Yeah.
Wrestling with someone with hooks.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah, grappling with hooks is very different than grappling hooks.
Exactly.
Like, it's a very important distinction.
Prepositions matter.
Right.
Yes.
All right. So thanks for joining us for character creation,
Yes.
everybody. And there'll be some mystery characters that you'll find out when we start to
Yeah.
that we might post some stuff on the forum
Yeah.
about. So you can keep an eye over there. As I come up with things, I might create a players keep out thread and start posting some stuff in there.
Oh, cool.
About some
Cool.
ideas. So if you're
All right.
interested in my weird brain and what things I happen to do, I almost forgot, by popular demand, the last 2 games I've run, Rifts and Tales from the Loop, I have done sort of the first arc for the story from pre-written stuff, like pre-written adventure stuff in the book.
Uh-huh.
And people have kind of really liked listening to that.
Yeah.
And then being able to reference what materials I'm working from
Uh-huh.
on their own. So it's almost like they're following along with
Yeah.
what I'm doing, and
Yeah.
then seeing, like, you guys make crazy choices, and then I have to deal with the right and left turns you've made.
Right,
Alright.
yeah, yeah.
And, like, well, how does he use that with this material? So we'll probably start with that.
That's
so,
cool.
All right.
Yeah, I think especially if you're like learning a game for the first time and you're seeing somebody like seeing how you adapt
Yeah.
to a pre-generated adventure could
And
be really enlightening.
I had multiple people say that they really liked that.
Yeah.
All right.
Tales from the Loop, that the pre-written bit ended up lasting the whole run.
Yeah.
Because you guys just kept journeying off into the hinterlands.
Whoa.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was
Mission
fine.
creep. What's that?
So that probably won't happen in a Star Trek context, because Starfleet tends to be a little more focused than teenage kids.
Yeah.
yeah, we were
Yeah.
tweens on bikes. Come on,
Yeah.
guys.
Right,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the
was no urgency.
first 7 episodes of Carefree High, I think, happened over like a 48-hour period. Like it's, you know, yeah, I get it.
We're giving this out real time.
Right? Yeah.
All right. So
1
your
hour
warp
played
drive
is
is
1 hour
damaged.
to the game.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your warp drive is damaged. It's going to take 3.5 years to get back to Starbase. Buckle up.
Good luck.
Sorry, Stu. We're playing this real time.
Yeah.
Yep. The whole game's up. Yep. Nope. You're just flying.
Yeah.
Just there you go.
Day 1, we flew.
Guess what? Nothing happened today.
Nothing happened.
It's 3 hours of us going, Gin. Damn it.
Yeah. It's actually going to be like every episode is just us dressed in Starfleet costumes playing poker.
Which might be my new Twitch channel.
I love it. Oh my god!
And just like reference things that happened outside. That
Yeah. God, remember when that Gorn attacked? I got a pair of 2s.
That's one of the other things that I kind of want to figure out a way to do mechanically is like every Star Trek series has the zoom in on one character episodes.
Oh yeah.
So like I want to try and figure out a way to do that without making a bunch of other people at the table bored.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'll be like a 1 hour little side thing
Yeah.
that we do
Yeah.
offline, and then I post something.
Yeah.
Because
It could
I
also-
dig that.
It could also be with like everybody else playing like NPCs from that character's
Yeah.
past,
Right.
or from or from something that's currently going on with them.
That might be interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of use that other crew members. mechanic.
Right, yeah. Or it just kind of becomes like a Greek chorus for one character, you know, like maybe like it's Rorg going home and we're all members of the House of Chan, or
Right.
like, you know, like one person is, you know, the head of Chan's rival house or whatever, you know, something.
That'd be,
Could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, like the suggestions are like the love letter mechanic, or I was thinking of like the Savage World interludes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
thing.
yeah.
You could do something like that.
Cool.
I dig that too. But yeah,
Nice.
especially like if we have a night where some people are missing.
Right.
I'll be like,
that always makes.
if I get real ambitious, I'll prep something for everybody and just have it and be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you're sick today?
Hey.
Great! We're gonna do one of these."
I love it.
That kind of thing. So, thanks for joining us out there. We will see you next time.
So 1 month, basically?
Yeah,
1 month from
Yeah.
now?
Month
Yeah.
from now.
But hey, you'll get 2 episodes of Carefree High in between.
Yeah.
So get your Mac and Adam fix.
in an entirely different context.
Totally different. In this game, our characters might actually get to talk to each other. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to Mac a little bit, and she's like, "It's going to be kind of fun to play something really not me."
Yeah.
And I was
Right.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Rock on.
love
Yeah,
it.
not a lot of werewolves in Starfleet.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
It's true.
Couple three.
Could be, yeah. Or, I mean, there are races that are similar enough.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could happen.
Oh, yeah, can I play a Zinti? I'm going to go back. I want to
Right.
Ensign Wendigo, let's go! Commander Slevering Deathbeast.
This is our diplomat. You should probably just agree with what he says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he's the best diplomat there is.
Right.
He walks in, everybody goes, "Oh!"
Oh, yeah. That's Tracy. That's a great idea.
All right. So,
Hey.
bye for now.
Bye.
Live long and prosper, everyone.
Good night.
Held our joy.